Yeah, true. There's no sports. So it's like no basketball, baseball. Hello, guys. This is not Majorly Bearded, but this is the Mayor.
What's up, guys?
I'm Dan C. You guys know that. And tonight is just a public hangout. This is a spot to decompress, a spot to talk, hang out with your buddies. We are going kind of unfiltered tonight. No agenda, no resume. Wednesday, we kind of had a lot of this brewing, but we also kind of kept a lid on it because we just didn't really want to.
It was too, there's a time.
Yeah.
It takes time. You got to let things settle. But tonight we're unrated, which actually all the unrated versions were always very disappointing.
Yeah.
That just meant they didn't edit it as well. And
Right.
the boring stuff was in there. It was never like what you hoped.
Yeah.
Unrated.
The unrated cuts. It's like, the stuff that didn't make the theater.
So whoever thought of that is brilliant.
Right.
I think Netflix is doing it with a lot of they're bypassing on their content.
Okay.
Because they are doing that MA rating on things that are totally not
mature. Yeah.
But they're like, all right, give me the worst one.
Yeah.
And let's go and put it out there right now.
So just all that means for us is we're here. We're here to talk, guys. We're here to chop it up. We have some beverages. We got some jerky. We got some friends in here. We have Ryan, or Red Beard, Ryan C, Charlie, Bearded Dragon. We got Damon, Derek West,
Doug's
Ryan
here. What's up, Doug?
Oh, Doug's in. Hey, Doug. Adam K, V Men. So we're going to talk about everything. We're going to break down our thoughts. We'll have questions for you guys. We can talk beards. We can talk restaurants, sports, food, really whatever. I want you guys just to know that we are just kind of casual on Wednesdays. There's not like a pressure to keep the pace. But
Wednesday is chill. What is this? This is
extra chill because we still, you don't really talk about it or anything, but
the making of.
Yeah, it's more a casual conversation because Wednesday we want to keep it going. We don't want dead air and stuff. There may be dead air tonight. Who knows, man? We could be just relaxing. Hey, you like that hat, Mr. Donkey? Of course.
I don't think either one of us is going to be.
And we have your jerky you sent too.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was going to say, I don't think either one of us as teachers are real good at much dead air.
No.
Wait time, like they say.
I love wait time.
Yeah, and it really does work.
I torture my students with it, especially my 6th hour. Some of my favorite kids are in there, but they don't like to always get involved. So I just say, I'll wait. And they go, they start giggling and stuff.
You step up and it gets real awkward.
Yep. So yeah, guys, hit us with some
beard go away.
Hit us with some topics, and we'll talk about everything tonight. First one, my man Duncan Moon, who I've met and hung out with several times now. He said, "You both going to the Bridge Street Mullet event? I am entering. I'm gonna need your guys' help if I make the top 10. There's a mullet contest. Winner gets $500, and they're gonna select their top 10, and then it's gonna be an online vote." So I got a shot. I got a online vote.
Ding, ding.
Yes. So
online vote.
I'm going for it. I think I might even see a barber before I have to go submit my picture, and I'm doing it. They are having a mullet contest.
And as far as my attendance, I don't like to commit to anything. I usually like to mull it over.
That's what tonight is going to be about, right? That's
dad jokes.
That's what show the mullet. Okay, so it's coming in. I've got another month before I have to submit. You can submit now or before like March 10th. I'm going to March 9th. I'm getting that length, that girth, baby.
You got time to focus on your mullet.
I know.
You can go to bed thinking mullet, wake up, mullet.
Style, I can just pound.
It has to help.
I can do cycles of biotin.
It's like talking to plants.
Right.
Talk to your mullet. I'm sure it's not going to be negative.
No. I got to research if like injecting biotin is more efficient or.
I can't imagine it would be at all. Your body's not usually meant to.
It's this year. It's in like, it's within the month. So I wish I had him. I wish it was next year. I would. If I knew there's $500 on the line, I would just go big. I would not even care. I would try to be ridiculous. So
sometimes maybe you can't start at the top of the mullet pyramid. Maybe you got to be that guy on the bottom.
True.
Yeah.
It's going to be about style and swagger. I just got to get in the top 10, and I think it's mine. So got to be in the top 10, and I think it's mine.
Mullet swagger.
Epic Beards is in here. Got your beard mail today. 500. Maybe I'll enter Hannah. No, Hannah, you got a little bit of a head start. So Hannah's Duncan's girlfriend. No, you stick to. She likes to work out at the gym. And, yeah. No. I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I should not have said what it was on the line.
What's more likely to win than a YouTube guy with a big beard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, we got Matt from No BS Beard Reviews. He said, "Hey, fellas, looking sharp, Dan. I'm going to grow a skullet." Okay.
Skullet.
I think, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, is a skullet where you shave the top of the head or you go bald on the top and then you mullet it down the back. So it's kind of like an old man hairdo, but you go full mullet. Please inform us on this one, Matt. I'm not a head hair connoisseur. I don't know too much on that. I know how to grow a mullet. He said, "Yep."
I got an kind of out of left field thing that I want to ask you guys tonight. So for us, we have at least a couple of weeks of time, like unprecedented time to be at our house, kind of chill. We're not traveling. What's the things that we should do with that time? And I'm talking silly stuff like maybe, I should keep track of this every day or what are some things, some nonsense that you're going to look back and be like, why didn't I do that then?
That's great. Well,
we're just getting started.
We made a goal today, Sam and myself, and we said that we want to go on a family walk every single day during this break. We want to plan ahead. If the weather looks like rainy in the afternoon, force ourselves to get up early and go. If it looks like it's going to be clear later, do our evening walk. We want to do a family walk every day of this break.
There's a lot of good to that, even though I don't think she's watching yet, but there were times when I put up a wall against it, but it is good. You get out there. If nothing else, you're showing the neighborhood all of the things in your home that you deal with when you get home. So if you cut them off or, forget to trap the mole and it goes over and ruins their yard. Well, I did see those kids out walking every day. I get it.
We got a lot of great suggestions. We got a bunch of good questions. We're just going to kind of, I think, have to start by breaking down our whole current situation. Everyone said, you guys have time off, everything. Aiden says, how was your day off? To be honest, it was crazy. My day was pure madness. I was on overdrive. I worked way harder today than I have in the last probably year in a great way. I told the mayor, and we'll get probably into all that. I figured out kind of what my stress triggers are and all that stuff. So let's break it down. Everyone's asking about student homework. Everybody, hey, what's up, Hype Star? Yeah, stop a conversation. Hype Star comes in. And main review. That's Michael. We met with Gary Chesapeake at B-Dubs and then at the Beard event.
No, absolutely.
Saw your wife stole your Detroit grooming shirt. Yes, absolutely. So let's break it down here. What's going on with us? So we on Thursday started to see the other places start to close. I saw Ohio closed schools, Ontario. We're kind of sandwiched in between. And then we kind of got word that it was looking like the state of Michigan, the superintendents.
Or was it the state or was it more at a local level at that
point? Local level, but with a gentleman's agreement between the districts, right? I don't know if that's how it works for you guys if you have snow days, but it's usually kind of like a
team of schools that agree.
Exactly.
They don't want to get
strength in numbers.
You're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't.
Strength in numbers, right? You're not making the call alone. So it seemed as word got to us that there was a gentleman's agreement that they were going to call it, and something happened. Somebody stepped in and said, no, we should not probably do this. So they pulled the reins back. I went to bed at that point thinking I was going to school on Friday, and that was kind of scary. We had some different stories that were out there. The Detroit Pistons played the Utah Jazz on Saturday, and that it was within the range of Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell having the infection. And we had students that were at that game. We had students, one student that received a hat from Rudy Gobert, and that's a fact. That was from his parents. So that was pretty crazy and kind of shocking to us that within our walls that was happening. And then to think about going back to that school the next day was
with the wonder of, staff members, will they all be there? Will there be enough? Will there be guest teachers that are saying, I'll show up today?
A huge thing.
And then kids. Their family's going to send their kids.
Yeah. And guys, tons of great comments and questions. Right now, we're going to be kind of in story mode just to set everything up. So if you have a question or you have something that you think is really valuable to put out for us, Please come back to it. A lot of you talk amongst yourselves in the chat, which is beautiful. That's what we want.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
amazing. This is a hangout.
But we're going to go Teddy Ruxpin. You don't know what that is, do you?
No.
Teddy Ruxpin was a teddy bear with a cassette tape in his stomach.
I do know who that is.
And his mouth went. And you would listen to stories, but he didn't listen back, or at least mine didn't.
No, I never had one.
So we're gonna go Teddy Ruxpin style.
So we're in story mode to set up, and then we'll kind of break it down from there. But I think it is important to set this up, as a lot of you guys will be having Ted. A lot of you guys will be having questions based on what's going on here. So that was the big thing. And the mayor, myself, and TMD, we always have a group chat. We talk all the time, pretty much constantly. And it was the worry of teachers not showing up. And of course, that thought went through all of our minds. But all three of us were like, if our number's called, we're going to work. We're not going to leave. We're not going to be that
guy that doesn't, the one that pulls out underneath the foundation, because you do what you do.
Yeah. And
maybe one of those moments.
Yep. And we were not going to leave our students, our staff. We're loyal people. So we were going. But I can't tell you how many times I used the phrase, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. So I went to bed. I did not receive word until what time we get the call? 5:30 a.m.
I saw it on. I was already up.
Yeah.
Or never. No, I did sleep. I did.
Yeah.
But I saw it on ABC, or like our local school closing from our local news station at 5:20, 5:21. Okay. And then I knew TMD'd probably be awake.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't sleep.
Right.
He was probably, I don't know, out doing something.
Pokemoning.
Yeah.
So I got the call. My phone.
So then we got the calls 5:40?
5:30, 5:40. But I heard my phone vibrating, which is my alarm. And I was like, why isn't my alarm different right now? And I'm like, oh my gosh, we got it. And so.
Not just today.
We are off.
But we're off for 3 weeks, 2 weeks plus our scheduled spring
break.
And
one was scheduled spring break. Now, we'll get back to how that break is going to look. But one of my thoughts is that last week of our 3-week break is spring break. Travel, unless the government shuts it down, is going to happen. People have paid a lot of money and cannot get refunded if they didn't have traveler's insurance. So there will be travel. I just don't see how we come back after that kind of travel happens.
There's never been so many big things up in the air,
right?
In my life or in my parents' life. I'm
a history teacher.
My son Owen was kind of getting wound up, and I was like, had my dad tell him about what it was like during the Bay of Pigs to be a person doing duck and cover under the desk in school.
I bet. I taught about that.
Yeah, and these are these moments.
Right. And anything comparable would be like the Spanish flu, but that was 1918. We can't compare what we're doing now to what happened then. It is truly a different world. So we don't know. It's just going to be up in the air, and we'll talk about kind of where we're at in a second here, but
more things that we would have said were nearly or impossible have happened in the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
Than in the rest of our lives. Just kind of the big decisions. And a big thing for me is just kind of let's talk about the sports.
Yeah.
Athletics. This group of people has now seen a time where things were so bad that they called that off.
Massive amounts of money, massive amounts of dedication that these athletes have gone through to get
revenue
to these big,
for the areas.
Everything, the businesses.
But that pandemic is pandemic, and if it's real, it's real. And I don't know. But this has it's shaken everybody a little bit. Everybody out there, every adult at least, is kind of just I don't know about you, but I catch myself people talking to my face, and I'm over here with this lot. And a lot of that is me having to shut down the device and just unplug, because I've been winding up on this for a week and a half.
He has. I've tried to bring him down, and I think we met in the middle. I don't know if I got to your level, but
and what good does it do to get worried early?
Right.
Because here we are.
Yep. And that was what next two things I want to kind of get to. And next will be where we're at right now mentally. But after that or before that would be, what is our break going to look like? Well, our school district is 1-to-1 with devices. Each of our students now, elementary and high school, have a device. The really young kids have iPads, and then after that, they have Chromebooks. And we are going to e-learning. Now, we don't know all the guidelines of what we are going to do or be expected to do, but we are expected to give our students curriculum. We are expected to give them stuff to work on. That's going to kind of come into its own next week of what that's going to look like. If you're a teacher out there, have a family member that's a teacher, you probably know what we're talking about in that kind of lingo and limbo that we're in right now. So we will be on break, but we will be providing our students work. I will be providing them feedback. I will be grading. I will be getting stuff back to them. And
most importantly, we're giving them routine,
right,
and a little bit of time. When your brain, some of them, I'm sure, are just confused and worried like all the adults, and give them time to be productive a little bit without, just to hold that foundation that I think we do as teachers in schools.
And that's one of the most valuable things, especially for middle school. Oh my gosh, routine, give them a good place. So, and now I got all these things that are just firing.
It's all right.
We'll get there.
We'll take it easy.
And where we'll talk about some of the other jobs and we talk about routine and everything. But first is, where are we right now mentally? And I'll start, as you want to go ahead and smash into the jerky. Right. There is me. I'm good. I am good right now. I am mentally. I asked the mayor when he walked in, I said, "How are you doing?" And I said, I'm good. Like I feel really good. I am not worried. I generally only worry about things I can control. And right now I have zero worries about everything that's going on. I'm glad to be home with my family. I'm glad to be able to control everything that I'm doing. We went out today. We went to our favorite Mexican restaurant and got lunch. So I'm going to adjust where adjustments are needed, but I'm not shutting down my life. I'm not bunkering. I am not doing a doomsday shelter prep. I believe these measures are for much bigger things, right? We all know the term flattening the curve rather than rushing the hospitals. A lot of that is to help out people that cannot help themselves. A lot of that is to help the economy. A lot of that is to help jobs. So for me personally, even with a daughter that's 7 weeks old, highly vulnerable, of course, I'm good. When I went out today, it did not cross my mind to have worries. Was I tedious about washing our hands and doing everything? Yes, absolutely. But I'm in a good spot. I really am in a good spot.
So me, same. I feel like internally I've been amping up and doing this thing for a while. I was really having a hard time at I feel like there was more that needed to be done. I didn't feel like I felt like it was really hard to do my job, teaching science while everybody's worried about these big ideas. And so I was kind of conflicted between those two things, and and where I thought we should be and what I thought like Dan said, one's, it's out of your control. And I feel like with Michigan schools closing, that's all I can see as something that needed to happen in order to do our part in my little part of the world. Yeah. And once that kind of settled, now I'm amping down, like adrenaline down a little bit from it. Yeah. Because, when you're in front of the kid, you are a...
His teeth popped out.
Sorry, I got a beard. It kind of stuck there. That you never know. Back in the day before the beard, it would have
interesting injection here. Yes, we have somebody from Italy right now. Oh wow, so crazy! That's the beauty and the power of this channel is we've had people from, I saw 4 or 5 different UK countries, Italy in here, Canada in here, all over the world right now, tonight. Awesome, not through the course. So super crazy. But yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, so I am now in the part of I'm level. We've done what we can do. But now, I don't know if you know this about me. I am addicted to what's next. Addicted to the next move. So I'm thinking, what are some opportunities out of this? Let's say the mitigation is successful, and some people are we lose, but we also kind of just got a whole new perspective on what's really important. So what are the opportunities? What are the things that I can take advantage, that I can do with this time with my family? how about globally? There's no wristband. There's no event there's no month for this because it impacts us all.
Yeah.
This is the first time. This is what we call global. And this is me. I'd love to see this be a chance to have us remember how much more alike we are than different. And when it comes down to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I agree. I'm good. I am going to value this time off with my family, with my young daughter. It's probably the paternity leave that I should have had. That's how we should have it anyway. I'm going to give my everything to this channel. Anybody that knows me knows that I am going next gear. I'm all in. My day today was crazy because of that. And it's because I can't think of anything else. I'm there. I'm in it. And the mayor helps me with that and drives me and gives me ideas and everything. So, man, I'm excited. But I want everything to be okay for other people. A lot of you may not know, but my mother-in-law, Gigi, she comes in the chat sometimes. She pops in on Mondays, always leaves a thumbs up, says hello. She is a custodian at one of our buildings. It's actually Maddox's building. My son, where he goes to school, my mother-in-law is a custodian there. And our school district, at least, just announced today that the hourly employees, like custodians, are for sure going to be paid for the next 2 weeks. They're going to take their average last paycheck, no overtime or anything, and give them that pay regardless, which I think is a huge step.
I was like blown away by that.
Blown away. I never thought there would have been a consideration.
That's Mayor Top Hat class.
That's,
I
hourly workers, no matter what. So that's huge. Our bus drivers, our custodians, everyone that our lunch ladies and lunch gentlemen out there.
And it wasn't because we didn't think of those people, because we all did. We just didn't know how they could make it work.
We talked at length about that. We both were like, man, I do not want to go to an unsafe school. I do not want to put people at risk, but holy crap, we have a lot of people that depend on this. And so that was big. So I hope everything, if it goes farther than that, I hope we find another way to have them.
We have to get, I just think this just occurred to me. Our district has always kind of notoriously had this big sinking fund, this big amount of money for a rainy day. Well, guess what? I think it's raining pretty hard. You know? So maybe that's part of it. So give all those people generations, 40 years ago that started this idea and had that money so that we, have more likely that we could possibly get through this with the families, because that's crippling. Not only are you worried about what's going on with the virus and how to keep your family safe and healthy and happy. Yeah. And in a few weeks or at least a few days, how to keep your sanity. Because you're like, but we're good people. We're thinking about everybody else. Then you're thinking about money. Like if you're hourly, it's a huge deal.
And even the way our emails were written, even being salary, we are not worried about it, but it was not clear on anything at all. There was no like, hey, teachers, you're good. I think it was even purposely worded by good lawyers, like you said, to have some ambiguity out there. And great questions here. I posted Gabriel's post from Italy, and we had somebody ask, how has Gabriel out of Italy, how has your situation evolved? Has it lessened? Has it heightened? Where are you guys at right now? We would love to hear from you. If there's anybody in the state of Washington, I would love to hear from you. So I think that's going to be something that is really, really interesting. Yeah. So the mayor, are you going to join Team Bidet? No, the mayor's good. He was ready for the TP. He was. I'm calling it TP Friday, right? No more Black Friday. Today was TP Friday.
Yeah, I love trying to think ahead and things. So I was doing that last week. I hooked up with the TP, which is such an interesting phenomenon. But I get it. It's like when you get down to the bottom of things, what is one thing that that would ruin every moment? And that would be not being able to use toilet paper properly. That's the difference between civilization and not for a lot of people. And so
we got Sweden in the house.
Welcome,
Mr. Stephen. How are things in Sweden over there? But yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good where we're at. We are here tonight to hang out, to talk. We wanted to get that off our chest.
And as honest to goodness, us getting to talk and hear from all the people and just I don't know. Do you know what the word? You ever heard palaver? It's like when cowboys would sit around the campfire back in the Wild West. That was palaver. But palaver is just hanging out, talking about the day, talking about. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's
Aiden. I would keep talking to your parents, man. Let them know. He said he's sick right now. That they're not really listening to him or believing him, but his chest hurts. Just let him know that if you just say in a real good, mature tone, just hey, I'm really not feeling well. My chest is hurting and stuff. Let your parents know, and I think that they'll do what's right.
Right
would be my suggestion, whatever that may be for them. So feel better, man. That's a huge one. My kids were all sick for the last week, including Violet. We had to take her to the doctor, and it was just the cold. It was just something that was, serious for a 6-week-old when it was at the time, but it was just a cold. So we are good over here. I'm sure you're going to be good over there. I don't have any worries about that, but be safe. That's another thing that's interesting, right? One of the states that had not reported any of the illnesses or positive tests was West Virginia, but numbers started coming out that they only had like 13 tests available.
And I think we got to get away from the idea of that, of the test positives, the positive results. It's going to be interesting to see how the reporting and how the sharing of information kind of evolves. It already has. It really has.
Can you read that one? Are you able to see over here?
Gabriel?
Yes, this is out of Italy.
All right. Gabriel says that the situation worsens day after day. Now we are 17,500 infected and 1,300 dead. There are asymptomatic infected, so they have this what we're talking about with the colds and stuff like that, and the virus spreads rapidly.
And we know that is really like ground zero right now. We know that's where it's all going down. And they did start shutting down no more than 200 in Michigan. Yeah, the test kits just aren't available right now.
It's Novell
wasn't created.
Novell new.
Yeah,
it's a new. That's part of the biggest thing with this is that it's just unknown.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And,
which I'm really good at saying that.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. We don't know what it would be, and nobody does. None of us are sitting in an office, good or bad, right? To say that it's big, that it's small, we don't know, right?
No.
That's it.
It's gonna do what it does.
Yeah,
we're gonna do the best we can with what we know.
Right, and there are things we know. There are things that we have studied, that we understand about it, right? Really good hygiene, common sense. Wash your hands. Wash your beard. Soap is your best option. Number one, better than alcohol sanitizer. It is number one. Soap
and water. Yeah.
Soap and water. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So wash your hands. Let's kind of get back to that. Let's get back to that. And yeah, as Adam's saying here, the thing that really separates this is that you are contagious without symptoms.
Yeah, and that's why it's so effective.
SARS, swine flu, all of that was you had symptoms, and once we figured out what the symptoms were, we were good.
And they'll both have higher mortality rates.
Correct.
But they didn't get to as many people.
Correct.
So that's the thing. I talked to my brother, who I really respect, and he said, first of all, Steve, this is not The Stand. You know the book The Stand, or The Stand is a Stephen King book, 80s. Just kind of about Captain Trips and like a flu that wipes out like 99.8% of people or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a huge book. Like, I was so proud of myself when I read that thing. It was like that. And he said this thing, because he doesn't ever even believe that could happen.
Okay.
Because if something was such a good killer of people, it would wipe it. It would kind of burn itself out before it could make some of those leaps. Usually,
diseases are not a great killer.
I mean,
on the grand scheme of things, history shows that.
Right.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
And we don't know what the mortality rate is yet with this.
No.
We don't have enough test kits. The mortality rate is likely lower than what they're reporting.
Yeah, it's only going to. I think it's going to go lower.
Correct.
We just don't know.
We are at 1 to 2% right now, but that's going to dive down lower. The common flu is at 0.1%. Spanish flu in 1918 was at 10%. So that's really interesting.
Even Stephen King tweeted it wasn't The Stand. Laugh out loud.
Oh wow, that's funny. Well, question then, Dan and Mayor. This is from Sweden here. why does epidemic breakout always break out when you have a presidential election? And that's a good question, man. I'm not one into conspiracy theories.
Is that just the United States, you think?
I think so. Yeah. I think so for sure. Do I think that politics has a lot to do with a lot of things? Of course, absolutely.
Could I say, why does epidemic always break out when the Spartans have a really good point guard in his senior year?
Right.
That's why Michigan State's basketball team, think about all those big things that these careers are done. But, career, he'll play on, rather than putting everybody at risk.
No doubt. And so, again, I don't know. I like to worry about what I can control. I like to look at facts. And as Aiden says, yeah, it's sad. I mean, nobody wants this. I don't care what the mortality rate is. We don't want this. Even if it is majority elderly that this is happening to, that's still not good. Go and tell me that you've had enough time with your loved one. Correct. Nobody says that. Correct. And nature is crazy. So nature, whether it's humans, whether it's deer, whether it's any kind of animal, if there is what nature would consider an overpopulation, something comes through, and this is kind of a crazy.
That overpopulation is an opportunity for something else.
Right.
And that's it. Just
something happens. We see it in deer.
We were talking in Thursday in my class. I said nature seeks balance in all things. And in wind is because high pressure and low pressure want to balance out, all those things.
You would be shocked at the amount of money we spend to correct the Mississippi River every year. It's unbelievable how much money the United States spends to correct the Mississippi River. We have towns, we have roads, we have bridges that depend on moving the river. Guess what? Nature doesn't care about those plants. It wants to go back to its way. It wants to go back to balance, and it's expensive. So yeah, nature is downright crazy, man. Downright crazy. And we have the biggest population the world has ever seen. Our baby boomers generation that is going into that elderly times is the biggest in U.S. history. And even that's interesting, right? Why that happened, right? We had World War II. Soldiers were away overseas fighting. Women were working jobs.
And the timing.
The war ends. Everybody wanted to be normal. What was normal? Have kids. Go home.
Kids, dog.
Go home.
Chevy.
Have a house. The wife stays home, takes care of the husband. And we're going to start. That's when we built suburbs. That's when we built neighborhoods. That's when we built mass-produced houses, because that was going to be normal. And then now we're seeing, whoa, that was different. Times are changed now. We don't have the infrastructure to be able to handle all of that. And we're seeing that now.
And there's a lot more beards.
A lot more beards.
Back then.
A lot more beards than back then. But beards are good.
Yeah. I think
if nature grows something, it's for a reason. I firmly believe that if it doesn't, it goes away. We had a tailbone at one point that was much larger than our current tailbone. So beards have a purpose.
At least that's the whole thing. We've gotten into it. You had your video today about just wash your beard, wash it a little bit more.
And you got to wash it.
Wash everything a little bit more.
Your hands, everything. Remember to wash your thumbs. I really started being aware of how I washed.
And I wasn't good at the tips, making sure I
fingertips,
right? And that's the contact point for the world.
I always got my fingertips because I would do this, right? I would go like this, but look where my thumb is. My thumb wasn't getting it.
He's just balancing there, but he's not getting clean himself.
No.
It's unselfish.
He's just hanging out. So I had to make a conscious move to get my thumb. So what am I drinking? I am drinking a fine Michigan cider today. This is Blake's cider, which is close to us. Doug Sloan, my moderator. It's actually down the road from him. One of my favorites. You ever been to Blake's or had Blake's?
Had Blake's, 2 of them earlier. We went out to eat too. So yeah.
Oh, you had Blake's today?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's really good.
Where'd you guys go?
The Hilltop something or other.
In Waterford?
In Clarkson. Waterford, yeah. Hilltop, blah, blah, blah.
How was it?
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
Hit this one here. Sorry, I got jerky in my mouth if you want to read that.
All right. So here in Peru, there was the first dead because of coronavirus. Having said that, 22 people and counting died so far this year because of dengue that is transmitted because of the mosquitoes. Okay. So, yeah. So he's just kind of sharing that this has happened, but here are some bigger things that we know about too. And that's a great illustration of a huge portion of this is just because it's the novel part, the we don't know, and we
what
have
do you keep saying
novel coronavirus. Is like the scientific name. Novel just means new.
Okay.
And so because it's so darn new, they've never, they have no idea.
Yeah. So a couple things here. Gary says, while enjoying your family time, walks and channel hustle, make time to grab some ice cream and an honorary Uncle Gary. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that.
Very nice.
Mr. Funk Daddy, our brother Steve, says, I'm 68. That's crazy. Like, nothing about Funk Daddy strikes me as 68. But other than, I guess, the grandpa watching his granddaughter pictures. But you don't strike me as 68, Funk. He says he's in the at-risk populations. I keep calm, wash my hands, and stay away from large groups.
Yep.
And I think we are going to do that. Sam and I talked about it, and we're going to stay away from large groups, but try to go to places where we can walk and be outside. The Detroit Zoo does not scare me.
Right.
Where there may be several hundred people. Maybe. What do you think they get in there at any given time? In the thousands?
2,000, like around 2,000.
I'd say 2,000, yeah.
A lot.
So probably not during this time.
Right.
Yeah, probably not during this time, even though the weather's going to be perfect for it. We're going to go to the zoo because I think that's open air. Now, trust me, I know you can transmit it through the air.
Sure.
But with our kids, I think we got to do something.
Oh, yeah. You got to be moving and grooving.
Yeah. So that would be my thing. Have you guys talked about any plans? Because your trip's off, right?
I haven't canceled officially.
Okay.
We were planning
the people
on
know.
Jamaica for so proud of us. We threw money at this trip for a year to go. Just my wife
systematically saved up for it.
Yeah. Like I would every couple of weeks I'd say we gotta dump some of this money. And anyways, we paid it off this trip and we did. And I have to give my wife credit. I would probably, had I been there at the travel agent, I would not have paid the extra for the travel insurance. But she did. And what that insurance has bought us is a couple things. First of all,
you don't cancel right now?
Not right away. Like we have a little bit closer buffer line.
Okay.
And then if we cancel and we don't cash in the insurance part of it, we get all our money towards another trip before the end of the year. Okay. And we can do the same thing again.
So it has to go for a trip?
Yes.
Okay.
It isn't cash back, which is interesting.
See, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Okay.
I'm learning. So then if we cash in the insurance, which I think was between $100 and $200, then we added another 3 or 4 months into 2021 that we could travel and use that stuff. That's all the insurance got us, was like more time to make decisions.
To roll over.
So we have we don't have to use it by the end of the year.
Does it all roll over?
If we just say roll over, including the insurance, so we could double down on the insurance and just carry it over.
Okay.
We only have until the end of this year, 2020, to go somewhere or to go to that exact same trip. Okay.
When do you have to make that call?
I need to make it 3 days before we leave. So like by the end of the month.
Okay. Wow. And you have to call it then if I'm doing before 2020?
And if we decide we're not going, we have to decide, are we going to cash in the insurance and then buy ourselves more time to use that, which isn't too much more time, or do we just call it a voucher and keep that insurance in case something happens again? Yeah.
Where in Jamaica are you going? My wife and I went last year.
Negril. I've never been to Jamaica, so
I've been on a cruise stop, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, we did Montego Bay, and I think that's where we're flying into. We had a direct flight, Detroit to Montego Bay. Pretty
How long is that?
I don't know, 3 hours maybe, three, a little bit more than that.
You'll have a tough time getting that again.
I know. Well, I keep, every time I hear about another round of flight, like basically the route minimizing the waves of people just aren't flying. I double check our reservation to see if it's even a flight that's still happening.
So we scheduled a trip to Indianapolis. We were going to go to the Children's Museum, the zoo. There's a bunch of amazing places there. We've gone once. and we canceled today. We had up till the day before to cancel, but I wanted to get it off my mind. I wanted to get it off my plate, and we canceled, full refund.
Plan accordingly. You know.
Plan accordingly. And part of me said, if we cancel and we look to do something else, by that time, it'll probably be cheaper, right? Places are going to be down. And we had a situation where our school's insurance billed our entire birthing process, Sam's visits, Violet, everything out of network.
Mileage on the wheelchair to leave. Yeah.
And so the $500 Tylenol, everything that's broken with our system, and we don't need to get into that. But the only solution they had for misbilling us out of network, so we got billed as if we didn't have insurance. Out of network insurance was that we paid it, and they will reimburse us once it processes in hopefully 3 to 4 weeks. Think about what a birth costs out of network and probably double it. So we are not like scrounging for money. We are not in need of any help. Truly, we are totally fine. But I don't like that.
Could be.
We easily could be
with all the right intentions, and I'm sure people out there are in or have been in that situation.
The only way they could fix it was by us paying it and refunding, because the doctor's office and the insurance do not work together. Once the doctor's office receives or sends the bill, that's that. They can only then go back and have it reprocessed again. It was crazy, the entire thing. And how on a birthing process do you charge the mom and the baby being born? That is crazy. Why? To get around insurance policies we have a family policy, but each individual has a different deductible max. So Sam hits hers, baby hits hers, but they do it separately, which is crazy. It's not the way it used to be. Yeah, we paid it.
And you're not looking for to get somebody come up on your planning period and give you a massage for your insurance. You're not looking for a new couple pair of shoes every year with orthotics in them, or
I've never want
designer glasses.
Of those.
When you guys add a person to your family, it seems like that's a reasonable time that your medical insurance would kick in.
So it's crazy that we're dealing with that. And the processing place, the insurance place is telling us we don't know how long it takes. And then once we get it, then the doctor realizes they have too much money. So even though we paid insurance, they have to refund us as the doctor. So it's just a crazy situation.
It sounds like all that's probably from insurance, like fallout from insurance fraud, and when they would just the parity between insurance care in both, neither one's right or wrong, because insurance is like there are people that take advantage of it. And on the other hand, there are, for the doctors, they don't want to cooperate. They want to follow the rules. They don't want to, if they want to give a test to somebody, they don't want it to be dictated by.
And you're not on our insurance though, right?
Right.
So you probably didn't even catch, but they sent out an email. This is the only way I caught it, other than once the money started adding up, I'm like, this is wrong.
Where was my money?
Yeah. They sent out an email last week and we're like, hey, if you had it, that was us that applied to.
Oh.
Yeah. If you notice that was
Congratulations.
us. Yeah, thank you. We were the sounding alarm.
Something happened to you.
Yes.
And you got to be the crash test.
And they realized get this.
Did they loan you the money for?
Yeah, right. No, get this. They realized that they misbilled everyone's for a week.
Yikes.
But a week's not that long of a time unless you birth a baby. How does it happen on the week we bring Violet into this world? The 7-day period they messed up, probably 5 because they don't work on weekends. The 5-day period that they messed up was when we birthed our daughter. Are you kidding me?
Violet's coming. She
already's bringing the heat, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Already bringing the heat. So, man,
love her no matter what.
Yeah, it made me sick.
Gosh, that's bad luck.
Bad luck. My skin's crawling right now. I don't like the thought of having that much money on limbo. So back to my point, we canceled Indy to not think about that limbo. And so I don't know if you're going through that at all.
It's not too. because of the insurance, thank you, Betsy. Because it's not, we have flexibility. She's really looking forward to it. So, I don't have it in my head. I honestly don't know if we're going or not, because I don't know how. If I was sitting,
so you're still open.
I'm open to it. Yeah, I'm not totally against it. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I want to see how things shake out and see what, you know.
So are you looking at how things are there, how things are at airports and stuff like that?
Probably the biggest thing is making sure we can get back, that we don't fall into some quarantine occurs and we can't get back to our work and our kids.
I'll say your kids aren't going.
Right. So, you know, let's see what, you know, with what's going on now, let's see how that shakes out. And then if we look at it, is it going to be other places and that, you know what I mean? Because that's the biggest thing.
Mayor, what are you drinking tonight?
I actually have my water, but also I added my liquid IV for extra hydration.
Is that what? Because you left a water bottle in my car the other day, and it was cloudy.
Yes.
And I didn't know what it was. That's what it was.
That was my spot. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I was
liquid
like,
IV,
what the heck is that?
and it just smells lemon limey. It's actually a very salty drink.
Interesting.
But it's really good for super duper hydration.
Okay, interesting. So I'm drinking water as well. This is actually the end of my gallon. I did really well today. When I'm at home, it's not as easy for me as when I'm at work. When I'm at work, I'm teaching, I'm talking, I'm pounding it. Today I was comments, I was editing, I was uploading. And then I also have Saint Cherry, which is a cherry hard cider from Blake's Orchard in Michigan. It is one of my absolute favorites. It is amazing. Packs a little punch. This boy is a 6.9, if you guys know what I'm speaking right there. So for a cider, 6.9 it's doing the thing.
It has a really good taste.
Oh, did you have this exact one?
I don't know. If not, very similar.
Okay, they had flannel mouth.
No, flannel was what I had.
Okay, so flannel mouth is a little bit more low key, but I think you would like this one even better.
But I'm kind of low key. I don't know. Yeah,
you are
maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should. What's that one called again?
This one is Saint Cherry.
Okay,
it's amazing.
I have
several.
More sweet with the cherry.
Yep. I have several. Yeah, the flannel mouth has a little bit more of a dry bite to it. A little bit more of a dry bite. So how's the jerky? Well, so far we're just smashing the last week's jerky. We only have
2 days ago. That was only 2 days ago.
I know. It seems like forever. Like, I'm not kidding. I had to check myself for how long ago it was, thinking this wasn't good anymore. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was Wednesday.
And did you? I don't know about you, but me, so many things, like my phone popped up or your video came up, and I'm like, what? And then, oh yeah, it's Friday. I didn't even really, we're out of sorts and out of mind a little bit on what's going on and what's happening. And so all of a sudden you get reminded about it's like almost like I'm getting to the point where it's like the time before this kind of having this change, this big shift, and the time after.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And somebody said, never tried cherry cider before. So it's an apple cider with a cherry add-in. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love cherry everything. When I drink pop, it's cherry Coke. I love Code Red. I love cherry Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Cherry.
But I don't like cherry-scented beard oils.
Oh.
Not
I
at
do.
all.
I like the cherry tobacco. So Traverse City is a cherry tobacco sign.
Hate cherry tobacco. Hate anything with that, that fake cherry scent.
Yeah, car for air fresh, like the tree in the car, cherry.
Yeah.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
it looks like a cherry, right?
I don't know if that. Sometimes when we're talking, I'm like, is that just far enough ago that you were a little bit young to catch on?
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't see a lot of trees on the mirror anymore.
No. I've got beard octane ones.
Yeah. Yes, that is true. That was my last tree in the mirror.
Chris, our buddy, the company to be named later, is drinking a vodka lemonade. What are you guys drinking tonight? Great question. Let's get you involved in the chat here. We got Dr. Pepper. We have Mr. Dragon is leaving later, my man. What else we got in here? I thought I saw Adam saying something.
Sipping tea.
Tea?
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You know what it is to sip tea? Just like sipping tea is when you're like water. Throwing shade. Throwing shade is like how when you're talking about somebody that is kind of like indirectly like digging them a little bit, right?
Okay.
That's throwing shade. Sipping tea is, I don't know why I had to explain this. Sipping tea is just kind of gossiping a little bit.
No, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard of like drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, you hate memes, though.
I do hate memes.
And there's the big one with Kermit sipping tea.
That's where that comes from?
Yeah, they're just like, think of like people.
And I only hate memes because of how they take over social media.
They destroy.
I like creators.
Unique.
Yeah, I want you. If you made it, I'd be cool with it.
I know. Until
you made too many, then I'm not cool with it. So
too similar.
Someone called Dustin Hoffman. We got an outbreak.
Kirkland
nice
box wine.
Kirkland, you're fancy.
Nice.
You gonna play Slap the Bag? You ever play Slap the Bag?
Probably.
Take box wine out of the. I legitimately have never, but I know what it is.
Oh no!
You take the bag.
I was thinking of a different game.
You take the bag of wine out.
Show. We said it was not rated.
Right. We take the bag out of the box of wine, and then you drink it, and they spin it around and slap the bag while you drink the box wine. I don't think we've had this kind yet. I know you may have, but I don't think we've had it on stream yet.
I have not.
So we love Duke's. Absolutely love Duke's meat sticks. And this is Hatch Green Chilies. Smoked shorty sausage. I like how it says shorty there.
What do you expect a green chili to do?
I don't know. I think it's going to be sweet, not super hot.
Yeah, it's not
made with
hot.
Roasted and diced Hatch chilies.
Like a little salsa feel, maybe a little bit of just a little garden. I know you're not a big veggie guy.
All right, G. Lou says Hatch Green chili is the bomb. Joey says Dukes are awesome. We love Dukes.
Yes.
Yeah, we love Dukes. Have you ever tried Country Archer jerky? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. Go in here. I'm not like, this isn't one of those like worried ones. I'm ready.
No.
So my mom is a teacher and they hired a new janitor for sanitation. That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, they actually had.
Whoa, super soft.
Yeah.
The other ones are like packed. So what do we got here for flavor? Heat?
No heat. Well, slight heat. Yeah,
there is some heat.
Yeah, that's not bad. Wow. Surprising.
So what's going on here?
Well, the green chili pepper.
Once you let it sit in the mouth, there's a little heat.
Yes.
This is unlike any Dukes that I've had. We've had the original Dukes.
Mm-hmm.
We have the hot.
Sweet and spicy. Which is hot. Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
a little bit
give
of
it
heat.
like
this is hot. This is decent for heat-wise.
The Duke's sweet and spicy heat is like, I don't know. Yeah, you just kind of like the little, what do you call it? The room warmers, like small, like location. Not going to knock you out.
This seems like
hotter.
Crazy fresh.
And yeah.
Like, or is it just the type? That's wild.
I don't know. You like it?
I really like it.
Yeah.
The heat is nice on here. So thank you, Eric, if you're out there, man. I appreciate that. Got lucky and grabbed a bunch of TP last night. Yeah.
Is it really gone? Like, I haven't gone back because
Sam went out and it was gone.
I was playing that game last week. And the week before that, I was playing hand sanitizer. And the week before that,
mask.
I
remember the mask one.
I told you about that.
You told me about that.
You thought I was friggin' crazy.
I mean,
you did it as nice as you could. You said you have a little bit of a prepper in you, don't you?
Yeah.
When you meant like you're going calm down.
And that would be accurate.
That's a nice way you could say it. Betsy would say it differently.
Yeah, and I would say that's accurate with my feelings. You know, I don't censor myself, so that's accurate with my feelings on that. I don't think there's a situation in the world where I would wear a mask, so that one got me a little bit. But I knew you also are a value seeker. You like to.
I like to know like what could I get now that I won't get tomorrow.
Yes,
that everybody's gonna want tomorrow. I love that. Like
you love that.
Like if I could play the game of what's gonna be the big Christmas present. You know, if I had been old enough, tickle me.
You have been. You've done that.
Yeah, I have.
Oh yeah. Tell them your Pokemon Go story, your Chicago trip. This is amazing, and don't leave anything out. This is an amazing one.
Okay, so Pokemon Go. When it was brand new, everybody wanted to go to their big Chicago festival.
And we were big Pokemon Go players.
Yeah. And it wasn't really I decided I was going. I didn't know I was going to try and get Dan to go and TMD to go, somebody to go. And so the Pokemon Go Fest tickets, was this the first year or the second year? The second year. Yep. Okay. Big, but their system for selling tickets was kind of shaky.
Yeah. How did it work? You could get so many per email.
Well, it all happened at once, and they didn't they didn't predict like so many things the first couple years of that game. They didn't predict like how many people would be trying to buy them, so it crashed. So I had like anybody who's bought season tickets for their favorite college, universities, or the spring, for baseball or whatever. I had a Chromebook and I had a desktop and I had a bunch of different things trying to get in, and it was just cycling right when it these tickets went on sale. And I started, I was talking to my brother who does a lot on that, and he's like, you have, right, the hesitancy of the thing you want to do is refresh and reload it and see if you can jump in and get in. But if you gotta leave it alone. And he was right. The one that I left alone got in and got these tickets, and they were like $30 each.
And he got them too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he got them too.
Yeah, he got in too. We both got them. We bought the max, and I paid for the.
How much?
Did
you pay for it?
Are they gonna kick me off Pokemon Go?
No.
You guys out there?
No. Somebody did ask your trainer code, but
I did that.
This is a good story.
So, gosh,
you bought them for a couple hundred, right?
They were 30 to 40 each, and then I resold at like 10 times that.
Yeah. So he paid for his whole Chicago trip for you and your wife.
And we went to Hamilton, yeah.
Yeah, went to Hamilton, paid for a really nice hotel right downtown.
I'm flipping those over.
Yeah.
And then the next year, I was not even offered tickets because they did it a different way the next year. I think they knew. No, but it was crazy because they held on to the tickets to the last minute. All I had going for me was my seller reputation. I've been on eBay since I was in college, and I ended just communicating with these people because they had money out there on something they weren't, because you weren't supposed to do it.
Right.
And
yeah,
so
you had
one
to
person I
eBay,
met,
yeah.
one person I paid $40 to overnight to California, but it was still well worth it. And they picked it up because there were a lot of people saying they were doing the same thing I was actually doing, but they weren't. And people just got left in the lurch. So that was one thing.
That was
one
awesome.
time when I saw the movie Finding Nemo 2, the character Gerald, I thought they went a little far with Gerald. He was the otter. And maybe this was before you. I don't know if this was before you or not, but I thought he was like a little bit too not Disney for whatever reasons. So Gerald, get off our rock, Gerald. They bark at him. You don't have anything I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
out in the bay.
It's Jackson's favorite movie.
So Gerald went too far. He was just kind of a little bit too. I think he would be controversial. And I saw that the first day he came out, and I went out and bought all the Gerald stuffed animals I could find. And same thing. They ended up selling
you flipped them.
Yeah, Disney stopped making them. And there's so many things I probably lost on.
Yeah.
Too. But I just liked the game of that.
You first off, Steve.
It amps me up.
I love that.
I love it.
Steve says, can't find top ramen at that. The stores literally are price gouging.
Had those shipped last week to our house.
Did you really?
Cases,
wow.
I'm like, what could we eat easy? I know how to make it.
I can't eat those.
Yeah.
So my most perishable things, non-perishable, have gluten in them, which is tough for me. You also, another opportunity seeker you had was buying and these are really good.
Yes.
There's pepper in there too.
Yeah.
Taste the pepper. When there was the solar eclipse in Nashville, you did tried to stock up on the goggles.
I did. I sold those.
Yeah. How'd those go?
And I got my room before they realized everybody's going to go to Nashville for the eclipse.
Wow.
So I paid $120.
It was just like an off day.
It was like a special event at the Lowe's downtown in Nashville. The room we stayed in, had I bought it a month later, would have been not affordable. We wouldn't have been there, but it was $400 or $500. People were buying these packages.
You have good timing. When you did the Pokemon thing, I never envied you more than my life than at that moment. I was because I have that same kind of drive as you do. Maybe not towards that exact field, but the way I attack the channel and the way I attack life, we do the same kind of thing. I was like, oh my, I'll never forget. I was on the way home from a water polo tournament, driving on 23 North when you were telling me that story. Stopped at a gas station. I had to call Sam to tell her the story. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's crazy. I was so
which story?
The Pokemon one for the tickets.
Oh, the tickets. Yeah.
It was Dan, I saw beef jerky with soy sauce with gluten. Yeah, most do. The ones that we had today had soy sauce, but they're gluten-free, which is really nice. And even Duke's is wonderful because they label on the bottom gluten-free. But yeah, the mayor knows how to do business, son.
I don't. But like I can only do that with a teaching job. It's just a hobby. But I don't know why I've always been that way, to the great annoyance of my, I don't annoy her, and she'll give me credit when it works out well. But
good.
I just like to kind of just try to guess what the next thing is, and I like it with the kids. I pay attention to my middle school kids. Like for a while there, before we had a. I broke out fidget spinners in our school.
Oh yeah, you were slanging them.
Same thing, because and it got to be too much, like my gold fidget spinners chains.
Yeah,
and I was standing on the corner at my classroom.
Pause real quick here.
Yeah.
The bearded Vato is a head custodian at his school district, so he's the team leader, and he talked about to me how serious he takes his job because his kids go to schools in his school district, and that he's going to do everything he can to make sure everything's taken care of. I kind of related to him with my mother-in-law and preached that story there. So thank you, man, for what you do and for how you take that seriously. That is phenomenal. Stay safe, of course, but do your thing, man. Go lead with pride. That's going to help out a lot of people, literally. So yeah, really cool.
There's so many probably heroes out there through this whole thing that we'll never really realize because it didn't happen.
Man, when you think about, as we talked about, the impact of things that we don't see, right? We see the headlines. We see the number of people infected. We don't see the jobs affected. We don't see the restaurants, the Ford, right? Ford Motor just simply shut down for the weekend. And they're going to pursue after that. GM can't afford it. They just had the strike. They cannot afford that.
Right. Different story.
When you look at that GM facility in Burton, Michigan now, how many people are in there at any given time?
Not. It's
not under that limit.
Not even a fourth of what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's minuscule compared to what the size of the building is meant to.
Absolutely.
That's the story of our town. Though.
Right. Hello, Faithfully Bearded. What's going on, Tyson? So yeah, that's something to think about, because even where it's at now, though, if the state is mandating no meetings over 100 people, that's GM.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. So that's going to be really big. Schools are closed in West Virginia. Yeah. So there's a few states that have not closed yet, which I thought was really interesting.
I just saw like Washington was just recently.
Washington was the first.
Your start.
Yeah.
No, I thought Washington. Okay, was it? It was the first.
I think so. Yeah.
I know it went like it kind of went local and then moved out.
Yeah.
I got to give our state credit. I think.
Oh yeah.
When
our governor.
I didn't even honestly. Betsy and I are both educators, and we had to have that conversation of is it the best thing, safest thing for our kids to go to school tomorrow?
Yeah.
Neither one. We didn't have an alternative for them. They just not quite.
Because you both were going to go to work.
They're just not quite on the age. Yeah. Just like your custodians out there that need to be there cleaning, we've got to be there to hold down,
Yeah. And it was interesting that colleges went first. And some people kind of had backlash to that. Like, they're older, they're immune. The big thing with colleges that a lot of people didn't think about is how worldwide colleges are. Our first one was Michigan State. Master's alma mater for you, right?
Yeah.
Master's alma mater for the mayor. And Michigan State is as global as it gets. There are people, I would venture to say, from 75% of the countries in the world.
Probably every continent. Even Antarctica, probably doing something related to Michigan State. Right. Seriously.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. We started seeing that. We started seeing all the sports. Our local hockey team, the Flint Firebirds, they closed their season down. And that's all international players. They have like no Americans. They sent everybody home. So we started to see that stuff come in. And like I said, we were just kind of, and if anybody's just coming in, we were just kind of waiting on that call. Some things happened, and it was really, really interesting. Now, we do not. A lot of schools are requiring mandatory professional development on Monday and Tuesday. I've heard that from a ton of people. Our school is not requiring mandatory I think because we already have the 1-to-1 and we already have the systems in place.
Yeah, we were very fortunate from that. Every kid has a way to reach out. They're also making available if they left it at school or whatever, the charge cord, they can come get one. Even the kids that the first and second graders that don't have Chromebooks are allowed to go and check one out next week, so that everybody has one.
Don't they have iPads though?
No, not take home.
Oh, okay. Must be classroom.
Actually, I don't think I told you this today. I don't know. Betsy had to go into work. So
yep.
So the first
and is she off next week?
Yeah, she's off, but she needs to be reachable like during work hours. She doesn't don't go to Bermuda or whatever
because she's a counselor. So
yeah,
okay,
yeah, I think so. She's like
got to be there.
She has a really hard time with. She has a really hard time with how she can be of support virtually in some ways.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Maybe there is an answer out there.
Yeah.
But what was I talking about? We were talking about closing down the schools.
Yep.
And Owen and
I
started school today. Our school started. I made Owen and Luke. I when they were up, I was rocking. I was ready. I was taking pictures with face masks on. I shut the basement door at our house because that's where they like to go. They got Switch, Xbox One right next to each other, and you could just lose them for the day if you wanted to. But so that was shut, and we did.
So you said you're going to have a routine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it's like I felt a little bit like I did the first year I was hired. I was hired like 2 days before I started teaching, like right before the school year, like boom. Somebody took a job.
I had a week.
Yeah. Probably less than that. And
I had a week. Yeah.
But I took, of course you take the job and you're happy, but I was just kind of going with it with the boys. I already know a couple of web resources, and a lot of these educational resources, FYI, everybody out there, almost everything that was is free right now. What an amazing thing. What a testament.
And my boys, we are blown away by what they learn on their tablets at 2 and 4 years old. Jax will say something. I'm like, what? What do you appropriately put it into a sentence in a conversation? And I'm like, how? And he's like,
sponge. He's
in the sponge. He knows his tablet. So it's crazy. There is the capability of having routines, of having learning happen. And the idea of lessons, man, life lessons of rolling with this. And my kids are a little bit young, but we still are going to do stuff. Maddox is in karate right now. And to move up in the rankings for the belts, he has to learn vocabulary. And he has to speak a bunch of these terms that are Korean.
All I know is Kia.
Kia.
I walk around my house doing that.
Yeah.
I key up a lot of stuff.
You do?
When life brings you a problem, you key up.
Yeah, we got a heavy bag out there now.
Key up.
Yep, we got a heavy bag out there now, and it's really fun. We get some really good work out of it.
So we did that. I made him read.
That's awesome.
Give him recess.
How were they about it?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Here's, it was kind of a confusing night last night with what we thought was going to happen, and then we went to bed not knowing what was going to happen, and it was Owen's birthday too, so it was a wild time. It was just a roller coaster. So they had no idea waking up. They were expecting to go to school, and
yeah, me too.
And he wakes up and hears 3 weeks.
So celebrates.
Owen's weird. Yeah. He likes, and he's not weird. It's a testament to his teachers and just who he is. He likes, in fact, I was talking, we were going to give him an Xbox One game or Xbox game. I'm like, Owen, I'm not buying you another game. The only games that get their value in our family is anything he can do socially. So if he can play me in NBA 2K or me in Madden or his friend in those games or like Fortnite he's not. And I was never like that too. I'm not going to get into the story mode of something.
No.
And go down that.
No.
The day is going to go away.
Online.
I'm a people guy.
Same.
So I'm like, I'm not buying you one like that because it doesn't get any play time because you want to do this with, play with other people.
Yeah. All right. So we got a question here from Jay. He said, sorry, he's got to run. So he didn't want to spam us here. But Dan, any advice about if I want to keep my kid home before Wednesday when it's mandatory, how can I make sure it doesn't affect my daughter's grade? Easy peasy. This happens to us more than you would ever imagine, whether it's vacations, whether it's family issues, whether it's a funeral in Hawaii, whatever it may be. Simply reach out to the teacher and say, hey, my daughter is going to miss. Can I please have the work that they will be missing? And they have to allow you to make that work up. They don't have a choice. They cannot say that you miss, you lose grade. As long as you reach out, they have to let you, as long as it's a public school, they have to let you make
Every
that work
school is
up.
going to have virtually the same verbiage about rights and responsibilities.
Correct.
And one of your rights as a student is that if you miss, that you have that time. Usually it's typically that time plus another day or whatever for each day to make up work.
Yeah.
And
it's usually a day. You get a day. So you would have extended time, but just simply reach out to the teacher specifically. Get a hold of the attendance office, of course. Let them know the situation. I will say you are not in uncommon ground. You will not be the first one. You will not be the only one. I had students getting pulled out of my class at the end of the day on Thursday. 2 of them.
Yes.
2 of them
are coming to get them.
Yeah.
They're telling them not to go on the bus.
Correct. So just reach out, Jay. Great question, man. Bruce says, good question. I really appreciate you asking. We are both teachers. You will be fine. Is that federal or just Michigan? That's everywhere. It's technically school district by school district, but it's everywhere.
The same, one district somewhere paid for a lawyer to write all that up. And then everybody else is like, can we just borrow that on the Xerox copy?
Yeah.
That's how, unfortunately, so many things in education work is like
borrowing.
Yeah. Can't someone else do it?
So there's no federal law or anything for that, but it will be followed. You will be 100% fine.
I'd hope with my heart that every teacher out there right now would be more than flexible with
sympathetic
things. Because you and I were going into work. I was going into school, and I know you're the same for the kids.
For my kids,
the ones that just needed that structure, needed to see me, needed to have a lunch and have that foundation because they're so mixed up about what's going on.
Yeah.
And
Kyle said it perfect. He said, no teacher wants to see your kid fail. That is a fact. We do not want to see your kid fail. And so 100%. And what you were kind of getting at there, I'll let you touch on this. There are kids that are going to be negatively impacted by this break. Your sons are not. They will be fine. They dang well may be better off.
They may have a memory.
Yeah, they may have a memory. They may have family experiences. But you want to touch on, obviously no specifics here, but what type of kid has the potential to be negatively impacted by this? When we're thinking about hourly jobs, when we're thinking about everything, there is also a big group of kids that had to be considered when this choice was made.
Yeah, they're the ones that go to school. They're there every day because that is the most consistent thing in their life. And so your heart goes out to the kids that know they're going to get breakfast and lunch.
Their best meals of the day.
The adults they look up to the most, whether or not they might have a huge behavior issue in their class, but that might just, all those things might just be about getting attention.
Oh, it always
from
is.
That person that they want to get attention from because they're starving for humankind. They're starving. They might be literally starving.
Yeah. They may have 8 siblings at home, and the only way they get heard is by breaking something, by screaming at the dinner table, by beating their sibling up.
But at school,
yeah,
they can they get what they want. So they'll be their rain, shine, because and they may not even actually realize that. I don't think, but I don't believe that there are too many out there. But Betsy's a counselor said right before a big break, a lot of times in a rough situation, stress just builds and
they melt down.
They melt down and they don't want to go because
we have our hardest time after breaks with a lot of those kids because everything we worked on, all the stability we attained, they lose it over break. They come back. And great question here, Dan. You ever thought about starting a Discord server, a big old beard gathering? If you see the scrolling down there, the mayor and myself, this was completely as closely as a joint effort as you could possibly have, started a Facebook group. And we are scratching at 2K. We're at
Yeah.
1.9K right now.
Yes.
And I think it's the most potent I have over 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, but I don't have 20,000 interacting with me. If I get 20,000 on a video, that's an amazing video.
Right.
That's just how YouTube works, right? The biggest people get 1% on their live streams. That's it. Less than 1%.
I think a lot of people aren't even real plugged into that comment. And like today was probably one of my first ever. I commented on the video because I thought it was a question that people would ask.
Right. They don't think about how it impacts. Yeah.
It's like go ahead.
But our Facebook group is a potent 2,000 beards and a couple non-beards like Holly.
the way I describe it is we work very diligently to create, like, I don't want to be cheesy, but like an experience. Like, we want you to see different guys. When if you join the Commands Corner, a bearder community, you've got lots of guys showing their beard, asking questions about it, showing where they messed up trimming, asking advice on things. So, some of them just know they have a fantastic beard, and they want you to see, see it and get feedback, and it's very positive.
Yeah.
There are topic areas for. We have a beard barber map. If you ever want to find somebody you can trust to trim your beard for you.
We're gonna do a new wave on that too. We gotta get some more entries back into it. It's amazing. We're at over 80, but we gotta get some new ones in there. So yeah, it's huge. We do a post every day. There's structure for it. He says, I don't do Facebook. We have a lot of guys, myself included, that created a Facebook for this group. I got an important text here I'm going to take, but if you want to just one more time, break it down why, if somebody told you that, if they said, hey, I don't have a Facebook, would you say to them, hey, consider making one to try this group out, or just give your unfiltered thoughts on that?
So I didn't have Facebook before this, and I still don't really consider myself on Facebook. I have this group. That is my primary interaction for this. It feeds into what we do here so much. But I would say that you can always go back out if it's too much, but you might really gain a whole lot from just there's people that love to talk about products, oils, and things like that. We've got guys that just like have questions about having a beard, that think having a beard is something cool that is connecting piece with these near 2,000 other people out there, people with guys with families. So I would say you don't have to be a Facebook person to check out the group. You could try it out, Commands Corner, the bearded community. Take a look at it. If it, the whole point of getting on, if it's you just want to be plugged in or checked in, I get that, and ultimately it's your decision. But it might be worth a dabble at trying it.
Absolutely. Funk Daddy, 68 years old, says the corner is not like regular Facebook. And that is a fact. And this is a man who posts his pictures taking care of his granddaughter on our group. And I love them. Right. Every single one of them, man. It's absolutely amazing there. Adam says, yeah, I like you guys. I like you guys a lot, and this sounds like a beautiful thing, but I can't bring myself to reactivate an old account. Might have to make a new account specifically to join the group, and that is what I would encourage.
I would think absolutely. You don't want ex-girlfriend 3 times.
100%. I've turned off.
He's back.
I've turned off all my local stuff. I don't want people finding me. I don't want any of that. It's not traceable.
That's not what it's for. It's for beards and.
So I love it, man. Jay says the Facebook community is amazingly supportive and informative. Facts. A lot of it drives to my videos, but on every question, you may get one response of a Dan video, but you're going to get 18 responses from other guys.
Right.
Their own experiences, things they've learned from me, things they've learned from others, things that they've researched themselves.
Things that have helped, like tips, like
personally for them.
There's just so many examples of that. And people just kind of probably getting that support and then wanting to bend over and backwards and do the most they can for other guys too.
And they love it. And we as teachers get that. We know that bug of helping people and how it feels. And I think some of the guys in the group are getting that.
Yeah.
They feel the bug of helping, which is cool.
That's one of the big things is just brotherhood of guys, doing all of the connecting and because we think beards are cool, because we have questions about them. Or whatever it is. And
we talk about vegetables. We talk about TV shows. We talk about vacations. We talk about guy stuff.
A lot of times our question or topic of the day would be totally non-beard related.
Yeah. And we have we have sculpted this group through a lot of pain and complaints, but for a reason, and it's beautiful. There are no memes. There are no posts from outsides. There are 0 companies advertising on a 2,000-person beard group.
Right.
That's special.
And it's,
and we could, trust me, we could take ads. We could have companies pay us to do that, and we're not.
Because it's a matter of what we really want.
Yeah.
Part of that picture is protecting the companies in a way, but also protecting the members of the group.
And it gives you a place to be able to talk about your experiences, not have to worry about it's beautiful.
The only time you would ever, and this is we've created this way of doing it, because otherwise it's not what would be special about it. Right. But I would think the only time you would ever put something out as far as a deal would be when it was amazing.
Right.
Yep. And something that the mayor would be, he may have known about it a couple days ago. No,
and if it comes from, if there is any kind of advertising, any video, it comes from me. Strictly that's it. That there's no companies that are going to be spamming you. It's coming from me. And I mean, to be quite frank, it's my group. So, that's part of it there. Quick question. Why would my beard grow thicker on one side than the other? Is there anything I can do about that? Our first time getting to say this tonight, guys. Drink! I got a video. If you just search DanC, or you just search, it's the top and only one really that has any traction to it. You look up uneven beard growth. Boom, got you. It'll give you way more detail than I could even do justice right now. So just simply search uneven beard growth, and it's amazing. There's just way too many things to go over right now.
And then, there's a few possibilities with that. Yeah.
Yes, and there are. And I break them down really well on there. And it's think about this, think about that. Mm-hmm. So huge. Sam got in some trouble in high school on Facebook, but he's considering it for joining the group. Love that. Give it a try, guys.
Maybe he goes 2.0 like Funk Daddy.
Right.
Maybe you go into the next version.
That's probably why.
Elevate yourself.
That's probably why, man. So really try to think about that, guys, and listen to what everyone said here. Think about what everybody said on this. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of change in the world these last few days, but I was just thinking, how would it hit me if Funk Daddy went up to 3.0?
Oh my gosh!
That would be the straw that broke the camel's back, because, Funk Daddy stay 2.0. We can't handle it too much. Give us a little bit of time. If that upgrades version's coming,
we can't handle that.
No.
Michael says the group is great. The only one in Facebook, pretty much purely positive. I love it, and it's natural. It's real. It is what it is. Chris says, you and the mayor have created something special with that group. Thank you. I appreciate that. Matt says, it's an amazing community. I love being in the group. Absolutely awesome. It's primarily only posts I pay attention to anymore. And that's what a lot of guys have said, right? It's taken over my Facebook feed, and I love every bit of it.
And that's who it's for, is the people that really like to see the different styles. Maybe, or the guys that are just starting, like I did with this whole beard journey back in last summer. Guys that are just needing encouragement, or they're having a patchiness issue, and people are like, man, here's what my beard looked like. Like within 5 minutes, some guy just put a picture up and saying, I had the same problem in 3 months. Here's where I'm at. Boom. And then they put out this beautiful, fantastic, amazing beard, and then the patchy guy feels better.
It's so cool. So cool. Leo says, easier to lock down access now. Information about security and privacy protection is readily available. Very true. Facebook went through those growing pains, and they are much better now because of it than where it was before. I love the stars and stripes in the background there. Thank you. All of the woodwork there is from Steve Ferrulo, a.k.a. Beards and Wood, who was in the chat. I know he said he had company over, so he's kind of in and out, but that's from Steve Ferrulo. It is one of my highlights of the studio. That's one of my favorites. The fridge over here is one of my favorites, and you got to chalk up the mayor to that too. You got to chalk him up as a favorite staple of the studio.
I'm like, you ever watch? Are you too young for Pee Wee's Playhouse?
No, I know Pee Wee. It was super weird.
Like Cherry.
I don't know anything about it.
Cherry. The chair guy's name was Cherry, and the clock was Clocky. And I always turned it off when they got to like the genie guy. He just kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
The head in the box.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. Do you remember that?
It was vaguely.
It was the guy. Yeah, bad ending for him.
And Big Heck says the group is super different. There's no bickering. Everybody is mature and helpful, informative. When a person is asking for help or looking for recommendations,
and there have been a few people that just wasn't for them, and in most cases, people make that decision for themselves. But there's been just a handful, where we made that decision for them. But we'll do that for the
and those are always entertaining.
For the good of the group. You know, we both had a discussion when we had this idea. Well, when Dan had this idea about how, you know, we got to apply some of our classroom techniques, like setting it up right, fighting that fight in the beginning. Otherwise, it's just going to be a trail of everything. And all of a sudden, all the groups, if you don't make
Lawrence
a group different.
Fishburne.
Oh, yeah?
The Cowboy Curtis was Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. There you go. Oh, wow. Lawrence Fishburne did that.
They said he was young. Is Lawrence Fishburne
searching for Bobby Fischer? I believe that's him.
The chess player one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is Lawrence Fishburne, because he has a twin actor who looks just like him. Is Lawrence Fishburne the one whose eye is a little bit off?
I don't know.
I think so. There's a guy who looks just like Lawrence Fishburne. I can't remember the actor's name. What's the secret world? I don't know. Just approved 5 of y'all. Welcome to the group. Very cool.
Wow.
Welcome, guys. Check it out. Browse. Hopefully there's nothing bad in there within the last hour and a half, because we have not been able to check.
It does seem we do whenever we go live. Though, it does seem to be like
people trying to push it. So we got people like Doug Sloan, who is one of the moderators and one of our good friends. We meet up all the time. Doug's actually a teacher, so he holds it down. Forrest Whitaker and Lawrence Fishburne are twins. Yes. So Doug, thank you. Yeah. If there's anything bad, just you have full reins to cut it out. So
in fact, cut vigorously, and we'll apologize later if we need to. So,
exactly. And I think I've said that from day one, right? You guys have full reign to go and take off whatever you need. It's like the opposite of a beard trim. Lazy eye, Charles. Is that the proper way to say it? Doug said, it will be done. Yes. Doug's our only moderator in here tonight.
That's all right. He's all we need.
Tim's got to work and stuff.
Oh,
Joel's like hang out with his family or something. Jeez. God.
No, maybe they're listening. Maybe they're gonna pipe in now. I'm here.
Yeah. We know Jake is still driving home because he's a super slow driver.
Is he really?
Oh my gosh. So Jake's always late for one. He's never showed up on time. But for 2, I was driving one day and I saw my decal on 75 like near Clarkston. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I got to take a picture. And I drive by and I see that it's Jake. So I try to slow down to get a picture of it. I could not slow down enough to catch him.
Oh my God.
It was unreal.
Are you sure? Does he remember that at all?
Oh yeah. He said he's blind as a bat, so he has to drive really slow.
Well,
I thought he was pushing the minimum speed laws. Was he
in the right? He was in the right.
He was in the slow lane.
Okay.
But I went around him. I went in the middle lane. I tried to slow down and catch him, and I could not catch him.
You were like, this is absurd.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Something's wrong. Someone else, there's a drone videotaping this interaction, and something's going to happen.
Yeah. Doug says Tim's finna work for about the next 3 months straight. Yeah, Tim is in technology at a hospital, so he will be on overdrive.
Yes.
Some people were worried about job security and situations like that with how things were happening. He's okay right now. He's okay right now.
There's not going to be a lot of people in the medical field saying, let's see, nothing's really going on. Let's do some cutbacks.
Yeah.
No, they're going to need everybody on deck.
Great question. Kind of mimics what our group is all about here. We shift from beards to what Adam has. You guys have any plans for shows you're going to binge watch over break?
That's a great question.
Great question. You guys in the chat, please let us know as well. For me, no. I really have a passion for going to do everything I can for my channel. And if I'm not working on my channel, I will be with my family when they're awake. So those are going to be my 2 biggest things. If I watch a show, it's probably with the boys. That would kind of be what it is. And
Pokemon.
People don't probably understand how serious I am about that.
I do.
Where I will be in my channel there is always something that I can do, and I'm going to be doing it. And I cannot tell you guys how relieved I am and how excited I am for this opportunity to do that. I've been excited for this summer to kind of dive in. This is like a mini summer for me, and I'm doing it. So me personally, no, I will not be binge watching any shows. I didn't touch the TV today. I was going. Mayor, I know you will be watching with the family and stuff, and your kids are a little bit older.
No, well, but there's still not a lot of crossover shows like that we would binge watch together. Maybe we'll try to find one as a family. But I did re-up on with Showtime so we could finish Homeland because that's in this last season.
Yep.
When I did the pushed up the cable speed a little bit, throttle wise, and I said, let's go ahead. Showtime. We're gonna be using our stuff for a while. That I can never justify because we're not there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that.
That's true.
But other than that, the thing is, if we're gonna try to keep the boys
in a routine,
we need it too. And
that's
real hard to be like, yeah, your homework, and then you're sitting there chumping out.
Good for you.
Lead by example.
Good for you.
In all things.
That's not the easy road.
Oh no, but it's the long game.
Yep.
Because by week 2 or 3, it's gonna be by week 2 or 3, hot mess.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be epic things happening, and that's what goes back to what I was talking about earlier, as far as maybe that this is that chance to get to know your kids and each other way better. We had a moment already.
Yeah.
As a family.
Yeah.
Good. On the way home tonight, Betsy was telling, I don't know how it came up. I think Luke asked the question. He said, where do you go when you die? And we kind of went over that with them a little bit.
Yeah, this would bring that up.
And Betsy told the story about when her grandmother passed away.
Okay.
And like what it was like to be with her, and with that, how she was saying her deceased Betsy's grandpa's name, and right at the end, and like Betsy just said, I just had a feeling like she was good now.
Okay.
Just like kind of talking through those things.
Yeah. And then Owen chimed in and said, well, if that's how you die, how do babies get here?
Right. Well, Owen, I think he came home a couple weeks ago, and you could tell that he had been in hell, then a whole lot of things just got connected.
Something.
And he the kid, bless his heart,
looks at you
pretty
both.
much puts it out there. He like dabbles like facts, like, so this happened because I'm here because of that, right? That must have, like,
he looks at you, looks at her.
Really? And he'll like drop it on. He divides us, and then he'll throw out that thing he learned that's gonna make you blush. And then I'll hear him across the house later that day doing it to his mom, and then she, depending on the topic, would either amp up and then I have to come in and be like, yeah, we already got this.
Yeah.
And having that health teacher background too, there is a whole nother piece when it's your kid, as much as you want them to have the information to make the right choices, it's a really hard thing to think about how much these choices that they're going to be asked to make will impact their happiness.
For sure. For sure. A couple good ones here. Doug says, just wait until Jake's old. His speed will be negative. Charles says, I've always wondered how stressful it is every morning to pick out what you're going to use for product-wise when not testing or prepping for a review. So, Charles, I usually give myself 1 day a week. Other than that, it doesn't exist. And it's very simple. I usually have cravings. I will be craving ginger jamboree. I will be craving some kind of oil, and I go with that one to feed my cravings. So usually it picks for me. Jerry Carson, my buddy, comes in and says, a little bit late getting in, was putting the kiddos down for the bed, as you should have. Does this virus thing have you guys worried? So for anybody new coming in, we really touched on this in story time at the beginning. I am at a great place right now with schools closing, being able to be in control of my family, not worrying about staff shortages, not worrying about being in a building where students went to the Pistons game that played the Utah Jazz and all that. I'm good right now. I genuinely don't have a worry in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, nothing. I am good. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but first and foremost, I believe my family will be fine.
And I also feel like everything that makes sense to me as far as what we can do, given the time, given the information, given what we know, everything has been done. I am humble in the face of nature and those things, and humble in a way that you realize all you gotta do is lay out, here in Michigan, you go up north. So go up north, lay it on the dock at night when the sky is clear and you look up at the stars. And if you don't feel that weight of how part of things you are, but how like small you are in some ways, then that's not, that's what I guess you need to feel that as being a person and a human. And so I have humility in front of that. But I really feel like everything has been done, and we're going to do the best we can. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But nothing I see as far as in Michigan with those closures, I don't know. And I feel like it happened in a good time, even though it was a little rough road getting there for us. Maybe we were too plugged into it.
You're touching on some strings here, saying you're poetic. Mayor, I resonate with that statement so much. Oh, my gosh. How long do you think it'll be till it gets back to normal? I don't think anybody knows.
Well, I think there's no, post 9/11, there is no, this is a changer. This is
going to be a paradigm
shift.
Yep.
And what will it gets back to normal? I feel
it'll be interesting to see if it is 9/11, because I truly believe that 9/11 changed this country more than anything in first, obviously in my lifetime, but I would say since World War II, in so many ways that aren't thought of, right? Before 9/11, it was truly no big deal to have and I know we're going to sound like old people, but I really think these are facts. It was no big deal to have your kid go ride their bike to the school, to the drugstore.
Right.
Now you do not go past your cul-de-sac. You do not go past your driveway. The parents have turned into helicopter parents just because of fear.
Just fear, just indefinable fear.
Just fear. Especially the group that just recently left our middle school. That was when their moms were pregnant. That was when they were young kids.
You're so really right with that.
Our parents hover over grades. We put a grade in, within minutes we'll hear about it in an email.
And what they're doing is insulating their kid from feeling, having that up and down.
And I think it was because of that fear moment. It really changed everything. Will this be that big? It has the potential.
It's bigger.
Whoa, I strongly disagree. I don't think it'll be anywhere near the magnitude of 9/11.
I don't. Okay, well, I'd say it's bigger in some ways because look at what's gone down as far as
how the response has happened.
The way we're living is different globally for a while now.
But 9/11, think about our airport security, our security in the world. I mean, that was changed forever from that one moment.
It was, and
still is.
And I remember student teaching at that moment when we watched the second tower, the plane hit, and everything like that, and having to hold it together. And I don't think I did a good job. I wasn't even out of school yet, college, and that was a true moment. That's what being a teacher is to me. Is you're a parent, really. You're a community parent.
Yeah,
and you are yet another piece to that who that person's gonna be, but. I feel like this is bigger because, first of all, it's global.
Jerry agrees with me.
It's global. It is the way we live our lives, and neither mine nor my parents' life have they ever seen what we are seeing. When was the last time that that you couldn't find a live sport on television?
9/11.
Yeah,
9/11 shut down all.
How long was that for?
Yeah. For a day or two, I think they did. But
this is different, and I have to give you credit because it does connect to the crowd. It's the crowds. It's not the magnitude of it.
Correct. But I think the paradigm shift was bigger with 9/11 than this even has the potential to. I don't think that there's anything bigger that we can have to change. I do think the shift is going to be different when we look at crowds, the way we look at washing our hands, the way we look at a situation like that. But airport security, the Patriot Act.
All right.
Patriot Act.
I give you a credit.
Oh, man, that the magnitude of that and that's done to our country, positive or negative, not getting into that. But the way that 9/11 changed, the fear of parenting changed everything. I mean, that was the way that we then wagered a war on the world, on terror. I mean, so the magnitude there is massive. And I would say that was more unprecedented than this.
Well, and I see that from your view now.
Yeah.
what I'm seeing is if 1% of the Earth's population goes, it will be bigger than 9/11.
For that, yeah, I guess we would just have to. There's categories where one's bigger than the other.
And it hasn't, like that. Doesn't it hit you to say that?
Right.
Even just 1%
of 7 billion.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But so that could potentially.
Yeah.
I shouldn't just say it is. I think there's some things. Yeah, there's some unique things they're way different. But as far as like the school closures and all that, things that we've never seen, unprecedented. Let's say that like a record player. Who would wake up and think this is what you're going to be? Everybody. There were many people that found themselves looking like, how am I doing this job? There's no amount of money that puts me here at this moment.
Right.
I don't want to
think about today, how many teachers would have not showed up?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think every teacher shows up.
Every teacher would have showed up. How many people that were in a teacher's position would have not showed up?
That's a great question.
Now that's a great question. That's much more worded well. Adam says, I hope that the scope of research and science goes up and the funding for it. For sure. Charles says, and Charles is a very smart person, if you didn't know. This company in Rochester, New York, pulled a retired 1960s FDA-approved cancer drug out and have found that it was effective against coronavirus. So interesting.
Yeah, there are some.
And all it's so new. So all that stuff is just going to be coming, like pouring in.
Well, and the biggest thing is the unknown of the transmission. If it really, I've heard things where they're saying it's airborne more than the flu, and they're saying that because that's the worst thing, but I think it probably is actually a little more airborne than the way the flu virus transmits.
Correct.
And that's what they're finding out is that's why.
Yeah. And Chris brings up a great point. He is a U.S. military veteran. So as always, I've said it to you. He always has some like great comment back for me about saying like, thank you for your service. And he usually says you were worth it or something along those lines. But he said, after 9/11, we knew what we had to do. Fear left quick for people like me. And it was time to go to work. The virus is worse. The fear is overwhelming because the news hypes death all day.
And we're so plugged in.
Well said.
There's a lot of us. I think that's going to be an interesting. Let's say
how much more plugged we are.
Is the people that over info and the things, the family dynamics and what happens that, you're going you're going all of a sudden our whole culture, which was all about being able to be in the same room without really being in the same room and just doing more and more of that. I hope that would be my biggest wish would be that we reconnect. And I was going to telling that story about the passing of Betsy's grandma. She's crying in the back seat and the boys are like,
they're feeling that.
Yeah. I remember all of it. I don't know if that story would have ever been told if we didn't go through, if we weren't kind of feeling those things.
Yeah. And a couple things here. Doug says 9/11 gave birth to the 24-hour news cycle and perpetuated sense, which really drives the fear. That is a fact. They birthed the idea of 24-hour news of driving views by what that is. So Chris said, and he said it well worded, he said, for people like me. He said, I knew what I had to do. I had to get to work. He was a military member. He knew that. Chris would have been a smaller part of the population. The fear, most people did not say, I'm ready to get to work. A lot did. We had one of our biggest insurgents into the U.S. military on September 12th, 2001. More people joined that day than in the last 20 years. But that wasn't everybody. It was a very small percentage of the U.S. population. Many people were traumatized, were absolutely demoralized by fear.
Foundation shaking.
And so he was 100% unique in that, which is great. So do you have a midday beard cleanse that you would recommend to your beard for these types of airborne germs? No, I would not do a midday cleanse. One thing that I would recommend that's extremely hard to do, I usually don't try to talk about something unless I do that, right? I don't do drugs, never smoked in my life, never touched marijuana. So I've never done pills. I've never done anything. So I can tell my students, don't do those things because I have never. I touch my beard during the day. I'm trying to less. I'm trying to catch myself and be aware of it, but try to touch your beard less. And if you do, then wash your hands. I don't think it's practical for most of us to clean our beard during the day.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's one of the big things is as you're growing a beard or whatever, constantly doing that. I try to be more conscious of that as well.
Yeah, so be conscious. And the mayor and I actually probably one-way street. I've been telling him all the things that I've really been conscious of lately, and he has too. You've been sharing them back. But for whatever reason, I'm on this conscious kick right now, thinking about what I say, thinking about how I react, and just really trying to gain perspective. And it could be something as simple as touching my beard. Realizing when I'm looking on camera, I have more grays on this side, so it looks different than this side simply because of my grays, that I need to stop touching it. So, yeah, that's a really, really good one.
Yeah, and I asked real quick just that question about hand sanitizer and how should it ever come in contact with our beard. And
I appreciate that. I knew you knew the answer, but you were asking for everybody else out there like a great teacher. And so that was greatly appreciated because there were guys watching that contemplated it or did it.
Right. Well, let's say
it has aloe.
You're
it
sitting
has
next
vitamin
to somebody
E.
that's coughing on the bus and you got hand sanitizer in your car. Why not rinse the whole thing out?
Right. There are people that absolutely looked at the key ingredients, the active ingredients, the advertised ingredients on their hand sanitizer. It said aloe and vitamin E. Ooh, those are in my beard products.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Joe, Mr. Bearded Life, my brother. He says, Dan C, thank you so much for joining us. Sammy Cakes is telling her friends, Daddy did a live stream with a beard celebrity tonight. Hey, man, it was my pleasure. I did a quick little 15-minute live stream. For me, they went much longer. But with my buddy Andy, the Bearded Practitioner, the Bearded Life, Mech Beard, and the Bearded Zebra, it was a pleasure, man. It was absolutely an honor. I'm excited to do that again. I'm really good. So I'm really glad that I was able to do that. It was a really good time. So thank you, man. That's a super kind comment as well. The mayor caught some heat for that question.
Yeah, and I do really throw things out there because I think they're good discussion. Like I can't help it as a teacher.
And that's part of your, I mean, for lack of a better word, value. You bring those things up.
I'll take it.
That I don't think of, that other people that are in this chat don't think of, because we are in too deep for too long.
Yeah, and what might be old hat or common sense, common beard sense to the new guy isn't any sense. Yeah.
And so even when you know the question, the answer, you still pose it, because if it even crosses your mind,
then there's other people out there.
Other people out there. And that is so very true. So very true. What do you think about Cremo? I would call it crapo, in my opinion. Not good quality. I've tried it. I got a review on it. Looks good on paper, just not good in beard. So
I think they have a good packaging.
Oh, for sure.
They do a nice job marketing.
For sure. And that's probably the problem.
Yes.
Money's going somewhere. It's not going somewhere else, right? So yeah, that's probably the problem. Never realized how much my face itches so much when I have to try my hardest not to touch it. Is that not the truth? Oh my gosh. You don't realize something until a situation like that happens. You don't realize how much you play with your mustache until you have to tell yourself.
You're a little bit aware that you shouldn't. Yeah. Until you're trying to correct it.
Man, it's true.
Well, unless you teach middle school and they just tell you everything that you do that's moderately out of the norm, because they're non-normal detectors.
That is very true.
They're not too bad, though.
And I bet you have noticed how hard it is to set up a routine at home when you're so used to a weekend format or a break format.
I was thinking,
have you ever done, I don't know. No summer, anything like that. Okay, that's wild. I'm gonna grab
and I'm gonna say opportunity for us.
Yeah.
That's my big thing. Is I really wanna. We had a Christmas years back, 5 years ago now, where it was like a storm blew in, like Christmas, like that Christmas Day, the ice storm knocked out power to most of the area. Well, our house happened to have power. My brother was visiting from North Carolina, and everybody. My parents, nobody was happy about it, but everybody came to our house. My brother and my sister-in-law were sleeping in the basement. Their guinea pigs were in the back of the basement with a heater running. Everybody was it was just a lot of people in the house, and it was a super kind of rough time. My mom's back went out, but you always forget about those things. She may not forget about him, but I do. And look back to, wow, everybody was under one roof. It was crazy, but we were there. And I asked Olin today, I'm like, maybe we can make some awesome memories out of this time. This is our chance to have a little perspective, have a little family, like true family time. Otherwise, we're going to end up on the other end of this thing.
Joel said the same thing. He said, this will be the only time in our careers we have this opportunity. Invest in your family.
And this is not something that my parents ever had with us.
Right.
This is, that's
right.
True.
It is absolutely. Philip says, how's your baby, Mr. Command? For those of you that don't know, we had to take Violet into the doctor, to the hospital this week because she had a bad cold and she wasn't able to breathe that night properly. So we were constantly up. We got one of the nose Frida things. And I had 2 nights where I did not sleep, actually did not sleep. I took a nap the next day with the boys. I had to take work off one day. The mayor helped me out greatly with that. I was seriously appreciated, and I hate taking off work. Absolutely hate it with a passion for that reason and the stuff you have to deal with when you come back to it. But I didn't sleep. I'm not exaggerating. If you have a 6-week-old daughter and you're worried about her breathing, you don't even think. I mean, I wasn't even tired. I was good to go. So she's doing better. She's not back to normal 100% yet. Sam's probably fighting little battles right now, but she's doing better. We have, I can actually check right now. We have a sock that goes on her foot that measures her heartbeat, but also measures her oxygen level. So we're able to track that, and she's doing better. So hopefully in a day or two, she will be back to normal, breathing like she can. So right now she's struggling just a little bit. She's doing fine, but her just jumped up, which is good. She is at 98% oxygen. So she's just getting restricted a little bit from her congestion, but that we will take that. That'll be good. So she's bouncing between 96 and 98. That's so amazing. She's struggling a little bit right now. But the danger zone is below 80. And so that's when we get really worried about stuff. She's got a heartbeat of 114 right now. And all
this is being told to you by a sock.
This is all being told by a sock. Yep. So it's like, when you have on your Fitbit and stuff like that. Do they have this
for grown-ups?
I would assume so, yeah. Even right now, it's telling me she's wiggling.
Just in case my Fitbit fails, the sock.
You can see the little picture of it there. It has the infrared. It has all that stuff on there. So that's good, Dan. 98% is good. Yeah, she's bouncing between 96 and 98 right now. As long as she doesn't go in the 80s, once it gets in the 80s, we get a little bit worried. Once it gets below 80, you have to go to the hospital. So we did once, and it was scary, but she's doing good. And yeah, Tyson says sick kids can take away any tiredness. I legit was good. There was no points in that night where I was like, man, I need to get some sleep. And I'm not even kidding. I was good. I was ready to go.
Yeah. Staying up with at the responsible point in your life is a way different experience than staying up and playing games or partying or whatever, the way as a kid, when you didn't have those worries, you thought you had worries. And that, I think that's the big secret to life, is that you always, at every age and at every juncture, you always look at before and in the future and think, there it is, but really it's right now, guys.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with this whole thing.
Yeah.
I think everybody's going to be okay. I think it's like that. You can't promise that, but right now we're going to make it stay positive.
100%.
It's going to make it that much better.
And I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys. I really don't know about you. I'll hear from you. But stuff like this is good for me. I'm a talker. I'm not somebody that bottles it in and gets better and likes to sit on things I have here. I like to talk. I like to hear your perspective. I like to hear Chris's perspective from 9/11 with the military. Like, oh yeah, he had 9/11. He thought it's time to get to work. I like to hear that stuff. I like to think about those different things. What about you?
Agree completely.
Okay. See, I didn't know.
I will walk out of here just in a good place because, hearing the stories from everybody, you think you never really have a perspective of how big the earth is and how many people are out there. But doing something like this, that you at least you get a glimpse of the fact of all the different experiences and the way these things impact people. And
how cool is that?
Yeah,
all of your experiences, but not only amazing. That, Sweden, we had Italy. That was crazy. I guarantee we have Canada in here. I guarantee we had Mexico in here. I know we had several from the UK. Yeah, it kind of like we went live, and like that, we heard from Italy. We heard from Australia. We often get India in here. I'm sure somebody from India is in here. Like, that's wild how quickly we can get that response, that feedback. How's it going over there? It's worse every day right now. Like, that's crazy to hear.
Right.
Like, and we get that online, man.
And there's really, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it really means a lot. That was like a one-on-one. Like, there was no reason for that person to say anything but the truth because it didn't benefit them. There was no agenda, whatever. There's, so much. We're so skeptical now.
Right.
But I personally just think there's a real answer, as if you were in the room with them.
Yeah.
And needed, we're just talking.
For sure. And a lot of guys are kind of just agreeing with our sentiment here. Zach says, I can understand. My daughter had hospitalized for a week. I barely slept. James said we spent several nights in the ER with the kids. Somehow we survived, as will you. No question. And I'm not complaining here. A student had asked me, so I was just kind of explaining the situation. It was far worse when we had to spend 7 days in the children's hospital in the ER with Jax when he had life-threatening stuff and had to have surgery and all that. That was far worse. So we're lucky. We're happy to be home and not have to spend time in the hospital. It was just a congestion, but I learned, it's my third kid, and I did not learn until Violet that babies do not breathe out of their mouth until they're 6 months old.
So it's all nose.
All no, 100% nose until they are 6 months old.
I guess if I knew that, I forgot it.
I did not know that. That is wild. I don't know if you guys know that, but babies do not breathe out of their mouth until they're 6 months old. All of Violet's congestion was in her nose and then like the back of her throat. So all of her breathing was being compromised. We had to stay on top of it. We had to listen. It was really terrifying and craziest to get. Yeah, Jerry says when your infant is sick, top 5 scariest stuff a guy will go through. It probably makes up the whole top 5.
Like one of the big parent, you're a parent moments is when like that pit falls in your stomach, like you think something's wrong, or like you're trying to wake them up and like that. You just that how fast that split second gut punching, like, oh my gosh, something, that bottom dropout feeling.
Yeah.
If you've ever had that, where like
we most probably have, if you had kids.
Yeah.
Man, kids will change you. Kids will make you a better teacher.
Oh,
kids will make you a better human, a better friend.
And at the same time, it's like having an open wound the rest of your life because they walk around getting hurt, and when they hurt, you hurt.
For sure.
But when they have joy, you have joy too. So.
Oh yeah. My parents are living a lot of joy with their kids and their successes, and yeah, they for sure. How do they breathe when they're crying? I'm not sure. The body's an amazing thing.
Think about it.
The amazing thing.
When they're not born yet, they're using oxygen from mom.
Correct.
So it's just it's the whole conversion process.
Correct.
Going from unleaded to diesel.
Yeah, for sure. That's one. Mr. Callie says, what's up, Dan C and the mayor? Hello. How have I never noticed that? Yeah, and we found out from the doctor, and I was like, bullshinonis. And I looked up, I was like, oh, you know what you're talking about for a reason. Because they were like, because we called and we explained it. And we, like anybody else, hate medical bills. We don't have the best insurance in the world. So it's terrible.
We are now at a point where we maybe they want us to do that. I don't know, but it is no longer just go to the doctor.
And it's terrible. It's terrible to think that. And when I think about a sickness, consider money. But if I'm being fully honest, I do. And that does cross my mind. So we called and they said, bring her up, because they always do. And I explained to them that she has a congested nose, and at night, it gets bad at night. During the day, we make it work. Well, at night, she's on her back. During the day, most of the time, she's up. That makes sense. And she said, well, your daughter's breathing out of her nose only. And so I was like, man, that was pretty crazy. And if you know about it, you breathe out of your nose most of the time too. Interesting. Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. I remember finding out our kids don't have sinuses until they're like 7 or something. It blew my mind. Yeah, kids are built amazingly resilient. Like a kid's leg kneecap doesn't develop for like so many years.
Dude, it's a people seed.
Okay, explain.
People seed. Seeds are like nature's
Indestructible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maples, the helicopter seeds. Think about how amazing that is. So it can spread out when the wind blows. Like babies are, the single best human like seed and that's existed, and they've evolved and gotten good. But it is phenomenal. You think about all of the amazing like things we don't even plug into.
Yeah.
Maybe one, because we don't have that many kids to watch go through it, but two, you're so happy to have your kid. You're not really thinking about the science.
Right. So Mr. S. Downs says, how can they breathe when nursing? I think that's the exact reason why.
Yeah, so
they only breathe out of their nose.
Out well. Yeah.
So yeah, because if you see a baby nurse, they don't open their mouth. They don't go and get a breath. They're just constantly nursing. They're constantly feeding. That's a perfect example of why they're only breathing out of their nose. Because truly, they call it a latch, right? They latch on. They don't let go. They're not breathing out of their nose or out of their mouth. They're only breathing out of their nose. So that's probably the best way I've heard to explain it.
Yeah.
Think about when they're nursing.
That's true.
It makes sense.
I just remember one of our kids when they were feeding, all of a sudden he would get too much.
Somebody drew on your hat with a pen.
Seriously?
Yeah. Look at this. I'm blaming Luke.
Oh, yeah, I would too. Is it?
Oh, yeah, that's something. That's not a part of the stitching.
What are we going to do?
Pen or pencil?
We'll figure something out. We'll just tilt it up.
Yeah.
But like Luke was feeding and would like come off and go.
Right.
So I wonder if that was more like
he was clogged up in the nose.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or he was just drinking too much.
Yeah.
We all have problems.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, cheers to that. So no, we're good, man. We're people see. That's good. Yeah, that was good. Have you talked about that before? Or was that just a moment thing?
That was a moment thing.
Wow.
I have done the whole, like, to my 8th graders trying to get. I have done the whole look at the stars, and if you don't feel small, then you don't feel. You need to look again.
Okay.
Kind of thing. That's one of my astronomy intros.
Yeah.
That I like to use.
Yeah. How nervous were you when your kids had the first soft spot? That's freaky. I do not like going near the soft spot.
Pretend that wasn't a thing.
I do too. Sam's always like, do you feel your soft spot getting smaller? I'm like, no, I don't want to know anything about the soft spot. That's so weird to me that it's like skin and brain. Mm-hmm. Like, that's so bizarre. So yeah, I don't like thinking about that one. So yeah, man, it's kids are a wild world. Disease. I mean, when you think about like disease mutating, coming from animals to humans, and there's a bunch of animals that have the coronavirus, which is wild.
Well, you know what's wild to me is that growing up, like if you read about all the fears out there and disasters, nuclear war you would have been afraid of,
mm-hmm.
or Godzilla, King Kong. Aside from the movie Outbreak, which is like just turned 25.
And I gotta admit again, I don't know that movie.
Not a lot of kids grow up like thinking, oh, a virus is gonna come in and change our lives forever. Like nobody has that bad dream, and yet here we are with that probably having more impact than a lot anything else. It's changing our lives on an epic level.
Yeah, and I mean,
nobody has those bad dreams.
No. Right, that's well said. I have bad dreams about my beard being shaved, but
right,
we teach that.
That's a nightmare.
I teach about the ancient Americas. I teach about smallpox wiping out 30 million Native Americans. I teach about that stuff, and
huge.
You hear it, but you don't relate. I always break this down to my students. Think about this. So I'm a big tyranny fan. I like learning about dictators and tyrants throughout history, whether it's Mussolini, whether it's any of these people.
Just kind of like the process where they built their power.
Yeah. So my favorite book of all time that I've actually read, because I usually only do audiobooks, is The Prince by Machiavelli.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hang with me here, people. It's a good story. The Prince is written by Machiavelli, all the rappers, right? Tupac, rest in peace, Machiavelli, who actually didn't do anything. He actually wrote The Prince from prison. He was exiled. He never conquered anywhere. But essentially, The Prince is the blueprints for how a tyrant takes over a new place. And he says, you go in and first thing you do is you kill the leader publicly and violently. Then you kill his family. Then you kill his friends. Then you kill his supporters. Let everybody know it. And the last step, the most important step, is you publicly hold a meeting and you brutally, savagely kill his dog. And if he doesn't have a dog, you find a random dog and you tell everyone that it is his dog. Why? People see people die every day. Throughout history, now. Your 11-year-old son, your 8-year-old son see people die in a video game and they celebrate a headshot. They celebrate blood splatter. That's at least U.S. culture right now. That's just how it is. They're going to watch a show this weekend where someone dies, where someone gets blown up. You'll watch a war movie, you'll see something. Oh, look at that leg. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Machiavelli knew that. The second you see an animal die, though, oh my gosh, that changes everything. We could all sit here and list all the movies where animals die that people avoid watching. I've never seen Marley and Me, and I never will. I've never seen War Horse because I love war. I love history, but I know a horse dies in it. So I don't want to watch that. So we are more, I can tell them about 30 million ancient Americans dying, and it doesn't do anything to them. But when I tell them that there were these war dogs that were being tortured, oh my gosh, they listen to that lesson like you've never heard or experienced before. So I thought that's interesting, and it kind of goes with what you're saying, right? We're scared of nukes. We're scared of all these other things, but a disease doesn't really hit us the same.
And it just has to do with, I would assume, out of sight. You can't visualize it. There's no one place, no monster. No, it's an organism doing its thing.
And again, we see people die. We turn on the news, you hear about people dying. It's just that impact, that shock is not there, but maybe this switches that up. Maybe this brings things into perspective. You know, a few people have asked, what am I drinking? First off, I was drinking a Blake's cherry hard cider. Philip says, can confirm. And he's heard that rant from me in class. Currently, I'm drinking J.K. Scrumpy, a cider out of Michigan. J.K. Scrumpy, a cider out of Michigan. So, that was my little random story. I love beards, obviously. Beards in my family probably number one, but man, I love history.
I wanted to break some down on that. Yeah. What is it about animals? Do you think that we create for them the lives, the comfort, we kind of like they're our thing, like they are our pets kind of symbolize our ideal world, and like why does why does it hurt so bad, or is it just because it's not necessary? It just doesn't seem. Why is I don't know. That's something that's a huge question. Maybe we look at that living thing as something that we're a natural caregiver to, and this has happened. But it does. It's crazy.
I watched a Will Smith zombie movie. I don't know if anybody the one, something like that. Will Smith zombie movie.
Where he's in New York. Yeah.
And there's zombies eating people, literally like ripping eyeballs out. It's like, oh man, that's brutal. Oh, they got another guy. And you're just like, you're enjoying the moment. I'll never forget when the zombies grabbed a dog and you heard a whimpering from the dog. You didn't even see it.
No,
I didn't. I saw human eyes getting ripped out. Didn't care one bit, but I heard a dog whimper and I was wrecked. I was a puddle, and I don't even like dogs. I'm a cat guy. You're a bath guy, so I can say here I'm a cat guy.
Right. Yeah, it's fine.
And
open up.
They didn't even show it, and it wrecked my world.
Oh, nothing. That's where it's like over the line. That's the line.
Yeah, I Am Legend. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I remember that was like the first IMAX I saw over at the new IMAX when it was. Anyways, that's what it is, maybe, is that when the pet goes down, oh, that's too far. All right, this is ridiculous. Machiavelli, he's crazy, right? Okay, well, he did some bad stuff. But when he takes out the dog, we know the dog didn't do anything.
Right.
And that's where it's like,
and
I'm just going to, whoa.
And that's what Machiavelli.
That's the whoa moment.
So the next step with Machiavelli, if you guys watch American Gangster with Denzel, he illustrates this beautifully. You're savage, you kill the dog, but then you flood them with free things. Right? American Gangster Denzel Washington comes in, brutally kills a couple people, then drives a truck up and gives away free turkeys. Then gives people tickets to a boxing show. The Romans gave free gladiator tickets to occupy everyone's mind. Machiavelli said, go out and give them food, give them entertainment. Bread and beer is what they called it. Give them bread and beer. Then they will love you because what you're giving them. But in the back of their mind, they always know you're crazy because you killed that dog. If you just killed the leader and then you took over and you were kind, no thoughts.
That makes sense.
But that dog is always in the back of their mind.
It's
always.
It doesn't make, just never settles into any spot.
No. And so that's the crazy thing. And it's fascinating. You learn a lot of lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Another lesson from American Gangster is he did that, gave the turkeys, beloved, but everyone also knew he was crazy. But then you also learn not to peacock. You know what I mean by that?
Show off.
Don't show off. He went to one of those fights, Muhammad Ali fight, wore a mink fur coat. He then got on the FBI's radar because of his seats, because of his coat. And he was told real quickly, hey, you don't peacock, right? There is a quote from Daoism in ancient Chinese proverbs that says, if you do not want your house to be molested by robbers, stop showing off the gold and jade. It's true.
Yep.
Don't know how we got there, but still a good story, good lesson.
You're just trying to drop knowledge.
Yeah. Look at Capone, same lessons? Absolutely. Our 8th graders just went to Washington, D.C., but they made a stop at Philadelphia first, where they went to the prison in Philadelphia, and one of the rooms, one of the cells was Capone's cell. So they got to see that.
You know, it isn't the crime. It's the
time.
No, it isn't the crime. It's what the criminal is really going for is the recognition.
Yeah, a lot of times
recognition that gets you. It's like
a lot of times
the guys that would rob banks and show the money on their social media,
right?
And
a lot of times
the recognition. You know,
we try not to give them the recognition, but we love it.
We're the same way.
Yeah, I know. We love it. I'm admitting it.
Your 2 snow day call. You're like, this is going to be a 2-day.
I did.
Yeah.
Mayor called this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a while ago, we were having a snow day. Snow was developing, and it was questionable. It was questionable at best. It was a coin flip for either day. And ahead of time, I said, we're getting both days off ahead of time. Boom, mic drop. And we did.
And it was shaky
all the way through.
Oh, there was
all the way through.
Some snow days are clear. You know, you can see them. You can see him coming from a week away.
And
this one just twisted us.
Yeah. And that one only mattered because I don't take calls like that. It's not like I'm throwing it out there every week and getting it wrong.
No, you don't put it out there.
No. No. And I put it out there 100% and hit. The mayor did with this situation too, in the prolonged school and the toilet paper weeks ahead of time. Called the shot. So, yeah, we like that recognition.
And it wasn't – I read somebody's article and they convinced me of it, you know, and I read someone else's and I read about what was happening.
Same. I read the report from the snow guy, you know. You gotta take a shot at some point. What's up, Dave? Snow day? That's for sure. But, yeah, man, I love my family. We got to go out today, got to yell family day with the boys. What day is it? Family day? And, like, my dudes are at a hilarious point in their life right now. 2 and 4. They are funny. Jax is at this point where he cracks himself up, and it couldn't be any funnier. He'll say something like, Dingleberry Dad, and he throws his head up in the air. He slams himself down, and Maddox is at this, like, crazy pleasing point. He just wants to make us happy, and he's, like, the most amazing child in the world. And Jax is atrocious at times. He is a mean – I'm not, like, sitting here doing the parent pedestal. Trust me, I know perspective. Jax is awful. People will say hi. No. And he's nasty to people. Maddox is unreal right now. Everything. Like he's unbelievable. Before he sees his sister, he goes in, he washes his hands before bed. Dad, we didn't clean up yet. Like he's crazy right now. So it's a beautiful time to be home for me. It's going to give me the chance to help our students online. Like you said, develop that routine. But also, man, cherish this family time that I would never be able to get back, ever.
Oh, yeah. I remember Owen at the same age had a little song, Yeah, everybody laughed, but Daddy's Yuck Yuck song kind of hurt.
Yeah.
It did, you know. I feel like he was on my shoulders, hitting me in the head, singing Daddy's Yuck Yuck. I haven't forgotten, Owen. You probably have, but I haven't. They just go through those moments.
Yes.
And then if our experience holds at our house, as soon as Jax comes out of it, man, like they switch. There's no like both on point.
No.
And then you throw Violet in the mix. You guys are next level.
Doug says, Winner says, sorry, guys. Not many days off this year. Coronavirus says, hold my cider.
Yes.
So true. So true. Wayne, Doug's right here in Michigan with us. We usually hook up and meet up every other weekend. I want to show this real quick. I don't even really know this company. They reached out, not for a review. They were like, we love your work. You work hard. We just want to send you something. We think we're pretty unique. Oaken? Is that how you pronounce that?
Mm-hmm.
And I never show beard mail.
Okay, Ken.
Okay. If I do a review, it is going to be okay, Ken. Even though there's like Asian symbols and stuff.
Ken.
Yeah.
Gosh,
oh my gosh. Or like Viking. So I think, Oaken is what it is. And I never show beard mail. Companies reach out all the time. I've really just been turning them down lately because I don't have time to test.
Turn them down.
Every now and then I get a little more beard mail. But this is Oaken, and this is the case that came in. I want to show you guys this because it's really cool. So this is the beard case, all right? This is beard oil here. It's got these little hooks here. Luckily, I have beard. Do you keep nails?
No,
not really. I don't keep any nails.
I have a thing about that, actually.
And look at this beard mail. Have I even showed you this?
No.
Okay, look at this beard mail.
I'm watching with
just came in today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look at how cool that is.
That's really cool.
It's like a gun case. Look at that. That is sweet.
What would be the
let's say
you use the oil.
Yeah.
What would be like the most weird thing you could open up a fancy case for and have inside like I don't know, like
M&Ms.
There could be some really weird stuff in there. A middle schooler would be great at it.
Yeah.
Some retainer.
Oh, they do. They come into school with the craziest pencil cases of all time. Yeah, so
That's
sure.
Cool. I like the case.
That's really, really, really
unique.
Cool, man. I like that a lot. That caught my attention. Like I said, I never, ever show beard mail. Part of it is I know my value. I know the channel stuff. And companies will send me stuff just to get on, or they'll try to send stuff to the mayor to get on the channel. So I know that value very well. That's cool. That stands out. I really like that. It just feels manly. Just feels like it's something pretty sweet. Argan oil, jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, essential and fragrance oils. Pretty good. Haven't tried it. Won't try it for a while because of my review schedule, but still some pretty cool packaging, especially if you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a man,
I'm trying to think of what else how I would repurpose it after I was done with the oil.
Yeah. What could you put in there?
A belt.
It's got little
belt buckle on the back. You can wear it on your belt.
It's like a fanny pack for your belt. Oh my gosh.
Feeling a little.
Oh my goodness. Individual size sanitizer.
Oh.
On your belt.
That's sweet.
Like, because we got to protect that.
Right.
That would be cool. But it's got the little hooks here. I think we could put around the neck as a necklace.
Or we just go next level.
Okay.
And it starts putting the oil on for you. You just it's the
here, just shake.
Eye beard.
Oh.
You just throw that thing there. You're good for the day. It spritzes, it misses. You pre-program. You could have a scent story telling us. I know I really don't like my third hour, so hit me with some mint. Calm me down.
And if you guys only knew how normal this interaction between us is and how many times stuff like this happens where we just roll ideas.
Beard.
Yeah.
Rolling it out.
Constant. We've probably had 5 ideas that we thought were going to take over the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like easy.
Like,
I can't tell you
how
any
is
of them.
Not out there.
Yeah. How is this not out there? We've had many times. I feel like you're an inventor at your heart. I do.
I love that.
Yeah. I feel like it. So this is called.
I'll take that as high praise.
Oaken beard, and so
or okay Ken.
Or okay Ken. What's in beard today? I'm still reviewing for. I'll be filming it this weekend, so I'll be done with it pretty soon. But I am currently wearing the Bronco Buster from Black Rebel Beard Co. Their emu oil. Tonight I'll be throwing in their butter, and I used their beard wash. No, I did not use their beard wash today. I've been using their beard wash, but I want to go with something more stripping today. So today I went with a pine tar soap. But for me, it is the Bronco Buster Emu Oil Top Shelf from Black Rebel Beard Co. The mayor will be getting some promptly this weekend or early next week for me. I just got to do the review. So,
and I am Belle Isle from Detroit.
Butter?
No butter right now.
Okay.
I still have the Leland.
Okay.
Which is
and you got the little
black.
You got the little black one there? Okay. Good. If you run out, let me know. I mean, I got a lot of stuff that I can throw.
Like I don't want to go to the tree too much, to the well too much for the water, but I will if I need to.
Okay. So look at that one there on the corner, the one that's poking out. Yep. You see it?
Yep.
The oil. Grab that. See if you like it. We just aired the review today. I actually have the shirt on right now, and I have another one. Literally a full. That's the full bottle. My user is upstairs. So see if you like this.
I heard Sam say cedar a lot.
Yeah.
Today's.
Yep. Okay. You watched. Thank you, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. I was always hurt when we'd come to do these things and the mayor didn't watch the videos.
You gotta give me.
What's
time.
up, big
heck?
heck?
Give me time.
What do you guys have in beard today?
Oh, you know that's it's cedar. First time I got it. Second time was a little bit like
put one drop on your wrist.
One of my junior high colognes.
Ooh, in a good way? Okay, because sometimes those memories are good. And then rub it in, and then give it a second, let it breathe, and then go back and hit it. What's in beard for you guys? So we got Detroit Grooming Belle Isle. We have Bronco Buster from Black Rebel Beard Co.
Eternity.
Is that the cologne?
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, that's
a little bit of the cedar on top.
Okay, what do you think?
Excellent.
You like it? All right. Yeah, if you like it, leave with it. If not, leave it.
I love it
because I have a full tester bottle that I have upstairs. They sent me the same one.
So it's thinner oil, looking from what I can see.
3 carriers. So that was my question to leave the video with. What are your 3 like all-star carriers that you could do? There's some good ones out there. Husky Siberian, love that one. Love that one. Chesapeake Sunday, easy like Sunday morning. See, I got some in me too.
Yeah. Dean is my. He's Corktown. I thought he was my oil twin.
Did anybody hop on the Detroit Grooming? Hey, happy 313 day for 10 more minutes. March 13th.
Kind of Friday. Yeah. Also, today was Friday the 13th.
Right.
We had a full moon this week.
Yes, we had
a pandemic,
and we had the time shift, which has messed my boys all up. Try telling a 2- and 4-year-old it's bedtime, and their rebuttal is it's light outside.
Dude. Yeah.
It's light outside. What do you say back to that?
Like, well, back in the day when there was farming, they really needed the light. But no.
Ben Franklin, you can call him. How do you tell a 2-year-old that, no, your bedtime is actually, it's changed? What? They don't buy that stuff.
No, I had probably a handful of days, not time change. Well, where I actually would, when Owen could tell the time and Luke couldn't, I changed the clock and put him to bed early.
Wow. So we have a miracle purchase. It has changed our lives. We bought an alarm clock for the boys that doesn't have sound. It turns on to a color when the time goes off.
Green when it's time to
for
getting up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We had one of each for both boys.
What?
Yeah.
Why did you never let me in on this?
I didn't know it was a problem. It seems like you're always up anyways.
Dude, they get up and they destroy their room. They don't come downstairs. They're amazing.
Oh, no.
But they go to the bathroom. They put, oh, my goodness. This has solved it. They do not talk until that thing turns green.
The circle colors.
Yes.
And they're not cheap, but it's just totally worth it.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Means go.
Game changer. What's up, Zebra? Hey, no problem, man. So thanks for the support. I got you, buddy.
When Betsy was pitching that clock, I was doing the shock carpet. I was thinking like if we just could electrify their carpet until a certain time of the day, and they wouldn't get out of bed.
Touch it. Yeah.
There's some
and full disclosure, that idea solely came from Sam. I did not know such thing existed.
Well,
holy game changer.
Fortunately, in life, like we are at a point in modern world where if you have something that's really annoying to you, help keep kids in bed in the morning. Google it.
True.
And that's an amazing thing.
Yeah. It's unreal how amazing that is. Absolutely amazing. they wait for it. They know it. They're ready to go once that thing turns green.
That's the thing is that kids at that age, they don't have all the skills, but they still want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And
any age.
See, Luke will get Owen up. If Luke is up, he wants his brother.
And that's how they are too. They share a room. Even though we have an extra room, they share a room.
Oh, okay. And they might as well, because Betsy and I are lower floor, like they're up there. They have their own place, except for right now, week 3 dog visit. I'm sleeping in the guest room if you didn't tune in. Just because that in my in-laws 3,000-year-old in dog years. Let's not be ridiculous. She's only like 78 in human years.
I would love
which would be a world record.
Sleep, yeah.
But I can't sleep with the dog in the bed. The dog sleeps in the bed or it doesn't sleep. So I go up to the guest room.
Is there I know I've asked this, but I forgot. Is there a finish line here?
Well, as long as everybody gets coronavirus, probably her parents are in Florida. They're planning on coming back. It would be like another week or two.
Okay, so not crazy, but who knows what happens with travel?
Happens with so much,
with travel. That's my next question for you guys. And again, we have been unfiltered tonight, but I appreciate the positive tone and not everybody like going down some crazy
because it's easy to do.
Easy to do,
and not very productive.
So with a positive tone here, do you think this is the peak of the mountain, or? And this is just a think. Nobody knows any differently. Do you think more is going to happen with like national? Do you think we're going Italy? Do you think we are going farther than Italy? Italy has essentially lockdown. You can leave for a set amount of reasons, and they're restricting people.
Oh, it's martial law, basically.
Yeah, not just schools, not just anything else. Do you think we're going there? Do you think this is the peak? Do you think we go beyond that?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah. My hope, and I don't really have any scientific reason to prove this. I know that Australia is going through this and they're in summer right now. My hope is that it's late enough in the spring. Maybe I just hope with people being more active are outside, plus the measures that have been taken, and the lead time that we, unfortunately for China, that we've learned as this whole snowball has been growing. Yeah, maybe I think there's inevitably going to be some deaths and some
the numbers are just starting. Yeah,
but I hope looking back at this that there have been some big decisions. And I hope they have been in time. I feel like they could be. Yeah. To kind of say we achieved that ability of sustainability for our hospitals, or at least we did the best we could.
That's the goal, right?
To make it so that they could service people that needed it the most.
That's well said. I like that hope. I think there will be some national sanctions imposed, travel sanctions, but I think we'll be fine. I don't think it'll be a huge shift. For most of us, I don't think it would change a lot of things that we're doing, but I do think that we will see some things. It's just escalated so quickly that I think some more restrictions are coming. And as Chris said, this month's going to be brutal. This month we're halfway through right now. It's going to be a wild, wild month, and then hopefully we slowly get back to the new normal.
Yeah,
And
I think that's my hope is that the biggest impact is the fact that this occurred and all these changes made. My kids know that and have experienced in their lifetime the moment when things were so bad that big, huge money was less important than life.
Than the NBA.
And you don't see that. Not in my life has that been so obvious,
right? Everything. So I do think a couple more sanctions are going to come down and travel will be halted in some way or another, but we'll be okay. We'll be fine. We'll get through it. We'll see what happens, and it's definitely going down in history, man. This will be history books. We'll be telling this story for a long time, and I'm trying to soak up every detail and think about the school call, think about chatting with you guys as it was developing, thinking about this stream and everything. I mean, there's Yeah. So yeah, they said there will be a before and after this historic moment in our evolution for sure. And the new normal is what it is, right? And we always looking ahead to something new. I think it always seems greater than actually having the new normal. For example, having a daughter, having a third child, going to a zone defense. We no longer play man to man, right? That's what everyone tells you. Third is impossible because you're outnumbered now. Looking ahead, that new normal on the horizon for us with Violet being born was this like massive thing, this massive shift. But now that we're in it, now that we live it every day, and it gradually is the new normal, it doesn't seem like that monumental shift. Right. And things are different.
The more life experience you get, you realize that.
Yeah.
It can be okay. And I remember being a kid and being so shaken up by the idea of things just being different or changing. Change can be good. Change is going to happen. Change is the only constant is change.
Right. Really. I got that tattooed on my arm.
There you go.
Yeah. Literally, my tattoo is about change and things changing. Yeah. Whole tattoo. Did you ever have a part in your life where you were like, you didn't like change or you resisted it, or you've always been all right with it? I think I've always been all right with it. I've been pretty free flowing guy. I changed my career path at the drop of a hat. I changed the YouTube channel life, drop a hat, getting married, moving in with Sam, having kids. Nothing ever really like struck me as much. I just kind of went with things, you know? I don't know. I think I'm unique in that way, and it's no credit to myself. It's just kind of how I was born, kind of my parents, that type of thing. So my dad's kind of the same way as me. So I think that's a lot to do with it.
You can spend a bunch of time worrying about it or just do it.
Yeah, and I don't worry about things. That's one thing. Sometimes to a fault, right? I mean, in this process, I was telling the mayor he's got some prepper in him, but the mayor's probably thinking you need some worry in you. You know, you're too casual. So there's both sides, right? Both sides. So
yeah, neither one's right or wrong. Both have their positives.
Absolutely, and that's what life's about, man.
And that was just something. It just happened to catch my attention, you know. And I think with me plugging back into with doing the Facebook, I was like not aware. Like I was playing Pokemon Go rather than watching the world news.
Which again, you know, has some value to both sides.
But all of a sudden, I got plugged in and I got on this coronavirus thing, and it seemed to make sense. And then when Italy, like that first, when I was convinced like it was going to be a light, like it was going to impact our lives, was when the real stuff started happening with Italy
in the whole country.
And it's like, you mean the whole country? And then
whole
yesterday,
country.
It's like Ohio has no school. I'm like
I heard Ohio and then Ontario.
Yeah,
and we are between those two.
That's where big.
And then I kept waiting.
It's a big decision.
I'll never forget that process of hearing Ontario, hearing Ohio, hearing that our superintendents of the state kind of had a gentleman's agreement to call it. Something changed with the health department. And
there's an article about it.
And this is not hearsay. Yeah, there's an MLive article if you guys want to look it up for Michigan. This is and we have, I mean, we've heard and stuff, but the article kind of reinforced it. And that's crazy to me. And then going to bed being shocked, like I need to go do my job. I need to be there for the kids.
It's such a gut check. Like I need to be rested for this crazy day tomorrow, but I can't sleep because I'm worried about that. And I don't even know if am I going to be covering 2 classrooms if there's not enough people there. But I'm going to be there because, God, you know, if it were my kid, I would want someone there for them.
And that crossed my mind. My number one thing was the coverage, and you know me. I hate covering. I am a routine. If you talk about routine, I am a routine guy. So I guess that would be the one area I don't like of change is I like working hard to have a good situation at work. I like working hard to have a good situation on my channel. When that happens, all of that works out the window. That mattered nothing.
That you're kind of like 100%. You can expect 100%.
Yeah.
The entire time that I should be giving 100%.
Yes.
But don't ask for any percent.
Right.
When I'm not supposed to.
Right.
Because I need that. You know.
I need that.
Right.
I need that percent. And so that. Yes, or today. It's yesterday now officially. That would have.
Wow.
We would have needed a lot of percent outside of our normal.
And
that
it
was
just wears on
for
you.
sure.
You know, you want to talk, it just kind of wears you down.
And we already saw it on Thursday, the day before. We started to see the staff trickle shortages.
Like, imagine like you're at an aunt or uncle's funeral and it's a sad occasion, but you've got to play the family role, and you do that 6 times in a day. And for kids that don't necessarily have the greatest
correct
self-control about things, they know something's going on and they act out in really crazy ways
just to get the mind off of it, to get it on something else. So yeah, Michael says here in Georgia, school is out for 2 weeks. Most of the country is out for 2 to 3 weeks. Most of the country. There is some that is not out yet, but I have a strong feeling by next week, all 50, yeah, I don't know anything about Alaska and Hawaii, but I would say all continental 48 U.S. states will be out of school next week. That's my call. And I will say I had another good call before the NBA, before the NCAA called no fans. Before any of that, I said the NCAA was going to cancel completely the NCAA tournament, called that.
Huge. That's a huge statement.
Several days ago to all of my classes. I even hit the desk. I like to be theatrical in class sometimes, get their attention. I hit the desk. I said, my call right now, they're going to cancel the NCAA tournament. Next thing you know, the NCAA says we are going no fans. And I said, I'm still standing by my call. Then the NBA came out and called it. I said, I'm more right than ever. And then the NCAA came out. So, yeah, I like calling my shot. And I was right there.
Well, you pay enough attention for enough years and things, and you kind of you get a sense of where those things are. Yeah, there's a few things there, so it's for sure. I'm a retail sales manager, and if our star closed for extended time, I will ask for a transfer. I just can't. Yeah, and Mr. Calley, we talked a lot about that. One of our big worries was about hourly workers, especially in our school day. Oh, something cool I saw. Kevin Love, basketball star, Cleveland basketball, the Cavs. He started a foundation and a fund. He personally donated $100,000 to pay income for the arena workers of the Cavs while the suspension of the NBA is going on. So at the arena, think about how many employees they have there that are hourly. And he donated himself $100,000 to start a fund, hoping other players and other management will step up and make everything normal. They're not looking for handouts or anything. And at best, that money takes edge off something, because it's a lot. The economy is it's such a big deal, and there are so many layers and so many things that count on other things. But in this one miraculous situation, it all gets trumped by saving lives.
Wow. Cool. Yeah. And Ryan says a lot of players have done what Kevin Love did. Yeah, I saw he started it, and that's phenomenal. Doug says our school is going to continue paying hourly workers. Happy to see they're going to be made whole. Our school is committed to 2 weeks. And I think you said it earlier in the group chat. I don't think that would be going away even after that. I think that they have the availability. They have the sinking fund. And I would hope as a society, we would all agree that is something, even if it's not our money, we're salary. We're probably set. I would hope we could all agree that is somewhere where that should go.
Now, and this just occurred to me, but things can be a little tricky. What about the people that actually we work with every day that don't work for the actual district and work for the third party?
Yeah.
What about
my mother-in-law?
So are they included?
They're included.
That?
Yeah, they're included.
That's a beautiful thing.
That is beautiful, because we have over the last 4 or 5 years. We've contracted out so many positions, and yes, they're going to be covered. So that is amazing. And I would imagine a lot of them are still working. I can't imagine they're going to shut down custodians.
No.
I talked to my buddy.
The kids can come pick up stuff on Monday. And
they're
doing a deep thing.
Oh, yeah. My buddy is a bus driver, and he said that they are reporting to work but are going to get paid. So I wonder if they're going to have them cleaning buses, or what are they going to have them do?
Oh, I mean, what's needed right now? They could organize food pantry handouts,
things
like that, maybe.
And we did have a message about that. Do you remember the details of that without saying school names and stuff?
Yeah, just
what is our school district doing?
Just the Eastern Michigan Food Bank is going to be no questions asked. come, for that kid that we're not, the worries that we have about the ones that will eat and have food. There will be giving away, no questions asked, food for families that need it. All they have to do is show up whatever the time was.
Yeah, that's huge. And yes, please, let's keep doing that. I do one big thing each year, and that's we have a fish food foundation, a food foundation. That's really all I push with our we're both team leaders at our building, and that's all I push on our team as far as like the charities go. And I do that one kind of big usually each year. We get them Christmas presents, we bring in food, we do all that because it directly goes to our community. Yeah, it's things that people need. So for me, I blow that one out. I go big on that one. I think I've been the winner in 10 years, like 6 times. I think I've been in the top 3 every year. But this year, I had some duds in my first hour this year. But a lot of that had to do GM strike and all that stuff. But that's the big one for me because it is food, because it is cleaning supplies.
And that reserve that was created just a month or 2 ago, or 2 months ago, is exactly what's going to be utilized in this situation.
Yeah. So Callie's groom room here says, my children's school is closed for 2 weeks. They aren't going to penalize them for the days missed. Are your schools doing the same thing? I'm going to drink my cider here because I know probably got to be closing shop in a little bit, but I can't leave the stream before the cider's gone. So Mayor, you want to tackle that?
So
are they penalizing us? Or are they?
No, I don't think so. There isn't a law to cover this is the big thing. And that's the case in this financial, that's the case for everything. This is, just like go and think for a moment that you got it all figured out, and then the nature or life or whatever throws something at you like this. And I think we're learning that. So there won't be any penalty. You can't. We have to get these kids moving forward. We have freshmen who've been accepted to college next year. I think maybe in some cases where kids are getting college credits, I don't know, but a good teacher, and I know we can still, with good use of time, get the kids, get the information, teach the lessons, and get them out the door if we have to.
And part of that is Wayne said, my kids brought home Chromebooks so they can work from home. Our students are 1-to-1, and we have a lot of probably new people in here that weren't here at the start. If you want to just go over, what is our school's plan? We are locked down for we are sent home for 2 weeks plus our spring break, and we are trying to continue the learning, continue the routine. So how are we approaching it?
So the first thing we're doing is obviously some kids got out of the buildings. So on Monday, they can come get their materials. Every student, grades 3 to seniors, have a device, a Chromebook, which are, I think, amazing and really nice. So we are now charged with creating a space. A lot of us using Google Classroom, but creating a space where we can have an interaction. For me, science. I'm gonna some science, some kind of science discussion, some feedback, some things they can turn in. Just to keep. Honestly, I know I'll use it in my room because it'll be I need something that's not Fortnite. Get off a game or whatever, and give them back to a little bit of growing your brain, and all that, and keeping progress going and momentum. So those items won't be something that we're going to be grading in our district. It's not going to count.
No.
I mean, feedback is different than grading.
Correct.
And that's, I think,
we will track
more than anything. The kids want to hear from us and get a little feedback.
And that's where grading's trying to go anyway.
And honestly, I know, I'm sure you're the same way. It'll be nice to check, just to reach out and realize that you're still there and there's, and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So have that interaction and try to get some of the curriculum in.
And we have these learning platforms online already. Everyone does it a little bit differently. The mayor's curriculum is probably the loosest. I would say your science curriculum has the least available structure-wise.
Sometimes too loose.
Yeah. And that's something they're working on developing and everything. Social studies, we are probably the most set, and the most structured, which makes my job easy. I no complaints here. I can just assign things. But Kyle says, any live stream history lessons from Command's Corner for the kids? I discussed that today with the mayor in TMD. I said, I don't hate the idea of doing a live stream lesson. I don't hate that idea.
No,
it's
what
me.
if we could do what if we could maybe make a thing out of it? A fun, like not a fun thing, but like,
and we can kind of like maybe just make it like a brain lesson, an activity that can merge between social studies and science.
Yeah.
You invite your students, I invite mine.
That's the kind of thing that if we're gonna get through this in the best way possible, we gotta be, new things have to be created.
You have to attack new with new. So I know Kyle's kind of joking there. He's like, for the students, but I'm considering it. I'm legit considering.
Our
3
school
weeks
knows
is a long
about
time.
what we do with this.
Yeah.
They know about it.
Yeah. They asked me to speak at Career Day. So this is, I think we could crush a lesson if we just whipped up a simple agenda, and it's current event, history lesson, science thought, brain pop. Something. I think we could do it.
Where do we put it out at? Do we put it out on here?
So if we're going to be like honest, we have school accounts. We have school Gmail accounts that we could do it from. But would it be beneficial to my channel to do something from here? Yeah, it would.
Well, I think also it would just kind of fuel the I don't know. What guy out there who's been with Dan all this time is going to have a heart click on a video that ends up being a lesson for the kids that we're not getting to see and be upset with it.
A history and science
Worst
lesson.
case, turn it off.
Yeah, I think Kyle was asking for that, for him, not for the kids. So
we could even do a bearded lesson.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Like to our kids, and it would get, Todd in there.
Yeah.
He's got the beard stash. That could be the unveiling.
So no joke, guys.
There's a lot happening here.
3 weeks is a long time, and I'm really considering it. And this isn't the first time this has happened. We truly brought it up today and talked about it. So, yeah, man. So great idea. This could happen like this. And the crazy thing is, I would thoroughly enjoy it. This is our element now.
And every way we'd enjoy it.
Oh, the helping the students, the streaming part of it. And I mean, you've gone through the kind of maturation of like finding out how interesting a live stream is and developing yourself and the way to talk and everything. But now that you're kind of through the other side, like, don't you like, isn't it like a crazy feeling?
There's so much more to it, but
so much more to
when
it. You're in it. I mean, it's 100%.
It's a ride. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. I think you guys just witnessed the process.
This could happen.
Yeah.
And
why not?
It's nothing that would be a huge shift.
No.
We would just need to whip up a little agenda, put a little bit of planning, and we do this. We really do this. So
and we show the kids how much we really are thinking about them.
Yes, and we are. That was our talk all day. How are you communicating with parents? TMD, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this. Dude, that's a great idea. Oh, wow, that's what I'm going to say. Okay, I don't know about that person. Like, that's what we talk. We're here for the kids. We're here for the families. Our first thoughts on this were, what about the kids that go home and don't have lunch? What about the hourly workers? What about the parents? So, yeah, man, it's all in there.
And if I guess the Command's Army would be charged with sharing it with their communities, and getting their kids teachers to
inspire.
I guarantee you that would make everybody feel a little better, especially after this goes for a day or two.
I hope so. So Leo's got two things I want to bring up real quick. He says, Dan, what did you do with your swimmers and water polo players? So I actually had spring polo scheduled to start next week. Our off-season water polo workouts in the pool, out of the pool, those are canceled. They have canceled all sports, all clubs, all practices at our school officially. Actually, our entire state, the MHSAA, has canceled them all. So nothing right now. I will encourage at home, we call it in the business, dry land workouts. So I'll give them a workout of body weight things because most don't have weights at home. So I'll put up sets for lunges, squats, push-ups, those types of workouts. Next one here, Leo says, opportunity to learn how to conduct themselves online, extending to social media as human beings. Absolutely. I think one of the things, Leo, if you haven't noticed that you'd be blown away by, is how the students respond online. Whether it's my Commands Corner, whether it's Majorly Bearded on Wednesday, we both on a regular basis have students stop in, and it's remarkable. I've had 3 different students stop in tonight, and I've highlighted 3 other comments because it's remarkable how a 7th grade or 8th grade young man or woman conduct themselves in a live stream full of bearded men and their teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you would be shocked at how well immediately they would respond. I would have zero worries or doubts about behavior if we were to say, let's do a live stream lesson together.
Mm-hmm.
That would not cross my mind.
No.
And part of that is because of what we set up. Our students respect us. Our students like us. For some, absolutely, they'd have some issues.
To some, they're proud of. Like,
yeah,
it's a point of pride. Is like to say, here's another thing my teacher does, or whatever like that. More, whatever. But yeah, it never really breaks back because there's nothing here that's gonna go against the messages and lessons we do in class.
Yeah. So great question, great point there, Leo. It's I could get excited about that. I would much rather do that than assign some work and grade it and read it. I would love to have that instant feedback. And the beauty of a live stream is we can have that live interaction. We can have that feedback with them, and it stays up for those that can't make it right then.
Well, and I tell you what, man, sooner the better. Aren't you ready for a positive?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't everybody out there be ready for like a positive?
And who wouldn't embrace that?
So
2 teachers get together to do a live stream to help educate their kids, add some entertainment, add some value, add some routine. I think that would be cool. I think that would be highly embraced by all parties.
Yep.
Students, parents, administration.
Why not?
I really do, man. I really do. So this is a good question here too. Bearded Jesus says, is 3 weeks from school really enough if the United States doesn't have enough test kits? That's what I've been kind of questioning. I don't know. The end of our 3 weeks is spring break, where the most travel happens in our state. If I'm going gut shot here, if I'm boom, Babe Ruth calling my call, I don't think they can send us back after spring break unless there is a drastic shift in what this virus is doing.
Look how long, how far out. There's things in the late June that have been canceled.
Yeah.
The gaming expo.
Esports, whatever. Yeah.
No, EA. They were going to announce the Xbox 10, and then the PS5 is supposed to be coming out in November. That's all debatable now with everything going on, but E3, I think, or something like that.
I just don't see it. So I think 3 weeks.
That's a lot of people. So that's right. That's like a red
flag. That's part of it. Yeah.
Right.
I think 3 weeks is a lot of time and could be enough. But I think that spring break throws in a major wrench in that plan, unless, and this is leading into this, unless there's national sanctions against traveling, which is why I said earlier, I think national sanctions will be put in place because it's spring break season. Because Canada has March break.
We're going to go to all this.
Did you know that? Canada calls it March break, not spring break.
So the little differences.
So is 3 weeks enough? I think if they put national sanctions in, if not, I cannot imagine. All right, Chris, thank you for stopping in, man. Thank you for your service and your perspective. Always valued, always appreciated. If there's no national sanctions during spring break and people are allowed to go to Jamaica, people are allowed to go on cruises, I don't think they can bring us back after that.
Yeah.
I don't. Unless there's and it hasn't de-escalated in Italy, Australia, China quick enough for this turnaround.
Correct. But I don't even know what to hope for. So I just want to, if we're going to go to this, we just want to, before we go back, we don't want to have we want to have as small of a risk of it not being that we didn't wait long enough. So if we're going to,
we're already here,
the schools,
we're already here.
Let's make sure we close them and that we can get through this.
Yeah, there's no Band-Aid to say, we don't want to close them too long now. We already closed them. Let's do it right. Scheduled to go on a cruise next month. Man, my Twitch streamer buddy over there, so he's scheduled to go to Jamaica. There's a lot of people in that boat.
Gotcha.
A lot of people in that boat. The mayor got one early to start. I guess I get one to end.
You're the wrap-up guy.
Yeah. I'm the wrap-up guy. So, Bearded Jesus, thank you. it looks like we're about time for closing remarks here. We had no agenda. We didn't even discuss the amount of time we had thought. That is one of the beauties of not having an alarm in the morning.
Oh, wow.
We're still going to have to answer the bell. Riding. Still got to answer the call.
I do have one burning question though. Like, if let's say we do this school, let's teach. Will we have to pay Doug Sloan curriculum rate to be the moderator of our classes? Because technically,
Doug, I have some really good new products. I don't know how much you'll take, but I know you'll be there for us. I actually have a new heated brush. The one I just reviewed is sitting up there too, Doug, if you need that. So, yeah, Doug, we know we can count on Doug, and he's a teacher, so he just gets it.
Right.
Man, we could pull in his angle too if we needed. So he said, woo, yeah, no, Doug, I got some really good stuff. I got some kohlrabi balm and oil, balm, butter. I got some oil sitting up there. I got some butter from the Bearded Max sitting up there.
We're not releasing the OK Ken yet.
Nope. The OK.
I used up all my mid-joiner from last week.
You're on fire with the names, Sid. No.
Deliberately poor.
I got you. I know you got. We were half joking there, but it could happen. I may have missed, but how often will you stream during the break? I don't know. For sure, Monday and Wednesday. We literally on Wednesday we said we'd go every day, but that was like still just something that never happened in anyone's lifetime. Looking at the pace of our roles as parents, being home with my children every day, bless their hearts, bless them. Some days I may not, I think that we don't want to do too much of a good thing. Correct.
The mayor may need to take a bath instead.
Yes, but we also don't want to miss an opportunity to help people. We also don't want to miss an opportunity, to be quite honest, to capitalize on the channel. And we always kind of, when it ends, we just kind of talk about how it went. Let's say, oh, we cut there out. This was an astounding success tonight. Success.
Yes.
From the banter, the tone, the attendance, the interactions. I thought tonight was beautiful for something that was not regularly scheduled. That's on a Friday night. That's at a time of weary and strangeness. I'm very, very happy with how everyone has how it's responded.
Connected and kind of been positive, and we didn't really know what to call it or what it was, but it was just a reach out and a connection.
Doug says cruises are banned for 30 days as of 8 p.m. I had not heard that.
I mean, it's a floating
test tube.
Yes, where everything's recycled.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me, but interesting.
So
my cousin's on a cruise right now.
Planning on them, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
It's tough.
So that's our first national sanction.
If that's something, and it makes sense.
It does.
Because you can eradicate
Petri dish. That's what we were looking for.
Eradicate it on the mainland, send a cruise out, it stirs back up, and they come back and start over again.
My cruise is in 35 days, so it looks like I'm good for now.
Yeah. Okay.
For now, my gut would say it's going to be longer than that, and that's what the NBA said.
Close the ocean.
Yes, that's a hard one to get around. The NBA said for sure 30 days, and then they're going to assess after that.
Okay.
So that's a big one. So Steve said, I would call this stream a relief to what's going on. So that's beautiful.
Thank you. It is for us.
Thank you, Steve, man. And again, we give everything. Our sleeve is out there. This was unfiltered. Before the stream, I said, I think we have a chance to help out a lot of people. And then I followed it up with the very next message and said, including ourselves. I think this stream was as much for us as it is helping anybody else. Everything I do on this channel is for selfish reasons and unselfish reasons.
It fills both.
And there's nothing wrong with that. When we light a candle, ours stays lit. That's okay. You don't have to give the shirt off your back.
It's the people in your life and the things you do that meet more than one need that are the ones that stay forever.
Ooh. Goodness. Mayor breaking out the poetry again.
It's post 10. It's post midnight. I don't know. You don't want to.
That's next level. We've never made it post midnight. We did once.
It's just like 12:00.
Yeah, like just to say we did it.
Yeah,
just to say we did it. But we did get a half-hour late start, so I guess we got to stay 4 more minutes to top our best there. But Steve, that Beards and Woods, Steve, that I don't think that could be any of a higher compliment than we were looking for tonight. So. It's really, really well worded there. So thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. All at the same time, yeah, 100%. We have no plans. We don't know what we are going to do. Monday is Command's Corner. That's on as normal. I got Sphinx Beard on. Do you have Sphinx Beard? I give you some? The cologne
that was
inspired?
a really cool packaging.
Yeah.
I do not.
Okay, the other guys grabbed them.
That's okay.
Yeah.
They've got more beard to feed.
Yeah. I'm a supervisor in retail and go back to work tomorrow. Good luck, brother. Just be safe. Elbow bumps, everything. You'll be okay, man. You'll be okay. And then, yeah, Doug, thanks to all the health workers and first responders that are going to work super hard over these coming times. Yep, that's what most of them go for. They want that moment, right? We want the moment in times where our students are challenged, and we are the rock. We are the routine. We are there to bring them some normalcy. And I would imagine most first responders, health workers, that's what they signed up for, right? 9/11 happened. Our buddy Chris, who left, was in here earlier. He said, I knew it was time to get to work. People are made for certain things. I believe that, right? I was made to be an educator. I don't want to say teacher. I was made to be an educator, whether it's beards, whether it's water polo, whether it's history. It is what it is, you know? Worst time to be a college student. College is an interesting one because it's not quite high school.
And you really got to know some stuff before you walk out there with a paper that says
you really got to know some
stuff.
stuff. And it's much easier to bend the days on high school and say, or middle school, all right, guys, we're going to not count those ones. It's no worries. We'll wash that, do a little bit of work at home, and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
College is different.
I think you have to be able to make it no more financially burdened. No more. You need to clear that, but they do need to put the time in.
Agreed.
Somewhere.
Yeah, you can't just cancel and then have, like you said, finances. Something, man. Something. Have you ever had an "Oh Captain, My Captain" moment? So I know the Walt Whitman poem. I know.
It's Dead Poets Society.
Okay, with Robin Williams,
it's just a true class, like one by one, showing how much they're dedicated and follow and love their teacher.
Yes, on a monthly, yearly basis. I'm very, 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 very lucky as an educator. Very lucky. The way I put out my information and my approach, it lends itself to receiving positive feedback and positive appreciation. Very, right? For example, the mayor had to cover for another teacher one day. He came into class, and it wasn't out of the ordinary, but my class was pristine. They were wonderful. They answered questions. I had a class of probably 25, and probably 21 of them answered questions.
So just so you understand, I sat through his class in a desk with another student, but I might as well have been the kid there.
Yeah, and it was rewarding for. We know each other are great teachers, but I've never sat through the mayor's class. I know TMD is a great teacher, but I've never sat through his class. That was "Oh Captain, My Captain" moment. The mayor sat through my class and got to see what he's heard or what I've said. So yeah, I have many, many moments like that, and my goodness, I'm lucky. As much of a pain as parent-teacher conferences are, those are often those moments. I had a student whose dad passed away this summer, just 7 months ago, and the mom broke down in tears and was telling me about how I was the only thing he talks about. He comes home every single day. He's failing every class but social studies, sometimes social studies, but all he talks about is Mr. Command. Talks about, I want to try out for baseball, but do you think Mr. Command would think I would make it? Do you think that Mr. Command would be upset if I did this? Do you think this? So parent-teacher conferences are exhausting. They're draining. I wish we'd go to 2 days, but man, there are some "Oh Captain, My Captain" moments there too. So yeah, I have many, and I know the same is for the mayor.
Yeah, one of the things I notice the most is some of the kids you have the biggest impact on, you don't hear back, you don't realize that until they come back and say, man, I was in a world of middle school or whatever, and your connection, whatever helped, I didn't realize at the time, got me through that.
And that kid, right, who lost his dad, who's failing social studies, sometimes failing all of his classes, always comes back 5 years later, and he's in the ROTC junior program and is looking like a grown man and is saying how much that you helped him and those crazy things. And it's like, you don't see the steps from him getting there, but you can put it together in your mind, and it's amazing. Yeah, amazing. So Yeah, middle school is a good spot. I love middle school for that reason. It's a time of their life where they want to please, they want to be accepted, and even when they come back, they still know that feeling and that what they had, and they want to get back to that. They want to share everything. So, yeah, it's a good spot. Good spot. So, man, thank you guys. We're still 50 deep here. I know that's not big numbers compared to other people's streams or our normal streams, but that means a lot to us.
You guys are here with us.
Yeah,
coming over 12:30
in this crazy time. So we will keep you guys posted. Monday Commands Corner is a fact. Wednesday Majorly Bearded is a fact. I wouldn't hate the idea of doing that Monday, Wednesday, Friday even.
Yeah,
that could be the thing where people get to breathe a little bit from us, and
you can't have the mayor. You can have too much. You can.
Yeah,
you gotta dole it out in small doses.
So we'll keep you posted, but maybe a Friday 9:30 coronavirus stream is the thing. And my goodness,
but my guess is by then
I know.
It's known as something else. It won't be called coronavirus
and
anymore.
That's what my goodness, how different the world is going to be by next Friday.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully
we can't even and the beautiful thing is this is going to be encapsulated. We have this moment on YouTube for as long as YouTube lives. Unless I download it, then we have it forever.
If someone came up to you and just, this is a random example, but a lot of these things are as feasible a month ago as we're going to paint all the streets green for, how it just is unbelievable. It's not about March Madness, who's going to win, who's going to get injured, blah, blah. We get so into that minutia of that.
Yeah.
Who's got money at Vegas on? They're not going to have a tournament. That I want to see that guy
happen. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
That happens for sure.
There's no, I didn't even know it's possible. You know, and that's a wake up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You are awesome. Keep up the great work. Ain't no party like a mayor party. It already has a different name. Love y'all. Stay safe. Yeah, absolutely. Friday free forum. I like it, and that's what it was. I mean, it was a free forum today. We talked about Machiavelli. We went everywhere we could.
Told you about talking about my wife's grandmother.
And that just came to mind too. Yeah. But I was I can't say that. So yeah, that. Yeah. That happened. So for sure, guys. So hey man, thank you as always. I'll be here on Monday. I got a really good video on Sunday. I've been really excited about this one for a while now. I actually had it scheduled last week. Filmed it, edited it, uploaded it. Did not like it, didn't think it was perfect, scrapped the whole thing, refilmed, re-edited, re-uploaded, new thumbnail. It's good to go on Sunday. I'm excited. I scrapped 2 videos this week. Yeah, that I did, and I just was not happy with them. And that's just who I am.
You gotta trust your
you gotta trust it. Yep. So Sunday, that video will be on there. Monday, Sphinx Beard, giveaways, Commands Corner. Wednesday, Majorly Bearded. We will be there. Talking about, we're going to try and keep our structure of Majorly Bearded, right? That's going to be our goal with that. And then, tentatively plan on next Friday, 9:30. I think that could be a good plan. And who knows, maybe if you see a different stream than that, it's probably because something happens, right? If there's something that happens and we need to get together, we need a relief, we need an opportunity to talk, we'll probably make it happen. This time slot is available for us when needed. We need to be with our wives. We need to go to bed with them sometimes when they're awake. But when needed, we can be here for you guys. So we'll make that happen. All right,
guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. Get a hold of us. Instagram. I'll put it down here real quick so you guys can hit the pause button and add us if you need to. And it's in the description. That's even easier, actually, guys. It's straight up in the description for our information there. So thank you guys, especially for all the kind words, man. Doesn't get any better than this. You know what? Have a great Saturday.
Yeah.
This Saturday.
Yes.
Stay safe, guys.